Is this working even? Okay. Everything's bad. Quit. Am I live streaming? It said that it was, live. Okay, well, it says that I'm live, so we'll see. Tonight we are going to, I have a Twitter space that is Meet the Artist. So it's mostly going to be talking tonight. So sorry, no, I'm on Twitter when I'm on a live stream. Look, it's been kind of a stressful day. We're gonna start my Twitter space, the one that's scheduled. We are starting it right now. I feel bad, like, I'm just inviting everyone I invited yesterday. But yeah. We will tweet this out because I'm going to get kicked out right away. That's how this works. But yeah. I have my first speaker. Hey, Art. I feel like, well, Edwin. So, how are you today, Edwin?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I am doing well. I just did some, like, malicious, it's not even compliance, but I did, like, a joke banner for this thing because I was stressed and kind of peeved at someone. And then I was like, fine, I'll do a real one. And I was like, that revenge was very short, but, at least one person knows about it.
Yeah, I hear. Well, I pushed it out, as you know, so.
How are you? How's your initiatives going?
Well, making art is fun. All of the other stuff that gets in the way is not. Like the marketing and the, people building online and trying to build a following and all of that. Not as great, but
Yeah, I do
but I
know.
like making art, so that's good.
Yeah, it's like the art is the least stressful part of all of this. Like I'm trying to pitch a nonprofit idea to some people that I know aren't technical because I don't like it would be nice if like I knew a Solidity developer that would love to like work with this project, or if like there's a junior developer that wants to get picked up, but like most of the things I don't want to do are very much not tech related. and I want to make it a nonprofit, which means it needs to be more than just me, because we can't have a nonprofit with one person.
Is it a separate project altogether, or is it banned books related?
So, the short answer is it's something that I am creating as a part of banned books art, but there's no reason why this like feature or technology has to be tailored to be banned. Like I think it's its own its own product, and I think it can be really successful. And as I was making it, I was like, you know how much less work it would be if we just did this, and this is like it's simple, and I think it'll be successful, and it's going to be fun, and it's like a very low fruit, and plus I'm already making it as a part of banned books art. It's just that I want it to be its own feature, and I want it to be its own product and its own company, and have like 5 to 6 people that will pick up some of the work, so it's not like just me.
Yeah, totally. That totally get where you're coming from. It'd be so much easier if it was just the art, though.
I know. And it was like someone asked me if I wanted to be a part of their metaverse hackathon, and then I just totally took over their entire project, because now I'm excited. Like, if they decide they don't want to do this afterwards, like, I'm going to take it and I'm going to make it a nonprofit, because, like, wow, it's using my metaverse, and it's basically just you pay to do timed mazes that showcase NFT artist work, and we can make it so that the owner of the art that is displayed will get like from the pool, like it get like a little bit of profit, not like a lot of profit, but like a little bit of a royalty from just like being shown in the gallery. So like your artwork doesn't need to be sold to make a profit from it. Does that make sense? As a added utility?
Yeah.
And then when you pay for like the chance to play, basically like 50% of it goes to the charity, and then you also get like put into a raffle to win an NFT or something like that.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like the idea of that concept.
Yeah, it's like it's fun. It's not a theme, so anyone can do it. You have utility. Like, why would an artist want me to showcase their art? Well, because the owner of the NFT would get a little bit of the profit. Why would you want to spend money on it? Well, if for a nonprofit, if you spend money on it, it's tax deductible. So why not gamble and do it? Everybody wants to have fun if they're going to donate to charity anyway.
Yeah, I think there's definitely room for that in the greater NFT community. And the type of person that's drawn to purchasing NFTs would probably be interested in making a little donation and then getting something out of the gamble. So, yeah, I could definitely see where that would be pretty cool. Look, we have people joining us.
Yeah, so I don't normally ask this, but since we're supposed to be like highlighting the artists that are involved in my thing, I would really love to, like, if you all could tweet out the space and yell at your community to come and support you. The usual. Zeller, can you hear me? Okay, Zeller, if you're...
Yes, I can totally hear you. I was just tweeting a comment. I was tweeting out the space and writing a comment, and every time you write a comment, you can't just go right back. I had to delete it to come talk to you. I don't know. Is there a secret thing I'm missing out on?
No, I think it's really just the host being like, you all, you're
I'll
slacking.
do this.
You need to do this right now. But then also,
Exactly. And
it's
I was
like,
okay, I'm going to like it. I'm going to retweet
Yeah.
it. Who am I going to tag? And you're like, Zeller, are you there?
yeah, no, it's just because you were off of your mute button, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to kick you out and kick you down, and like make you come back. But
So I'm going to tweet out and I'll be back.
okay, do that. That's more important right now. But yeah, Robert, how are you?
Good. Just got home. Trying to cook something to eat. See if I can figure it out. How are you?
Pretty good. I have a cat in my lap. What else do I need? So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this gallery's opening. There's just like a few minor things that need to be done before it's ready for the final push out to production. And then I need to go yell at poapp.xyz, and then I can send out the emails, and then we're basically done except for my like 9 hours of Twitter Spaces on Saturday. So.
Oh, it's pretty cool and exciting. I'm waiting for it to get ready.
Yeah, like I really wish that it didn't take me so long to get the galleries together so I could like show you all before it is actually published. But I think you all will be really happy with where your stuff, like I put things in their place with like vibes, and like everything is where it's supposed to be. If that makes sense.
How many people did you get to submit their work?
So I counted, and I told Zeller that it was 24 unique artists, but then I was working on it yesterday and I realized that I forgot to add somebody, so I quickly added their work. So 25 unique artists, and nobody will have to know except it's recorded and everybody will know. But that's what we do. That's why we double check things, and it's not published yet, so there's time for me to put up the placards and pretend nothing happened.
Okay, so I did the tweet, quote tweet, all that stuff. So, Art by Ed, I'd love to know what you are exhibiting in the metaverse. I missed it, so I would love to know what he's exhibiting, if that's cool. Cool. And Robert, and everybody, but I was going to start with Art by Ed.
Oh my goodness. Wasn't a little caught up there. I'm also eating dinner.
Oh, okay. We can, if you need to eat, we can come back to you. I just was curious.
Yeah, if you don't mind skipping me and coming back, that'd be great.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
So.
Hi, Art. Hi, Robert.
So, not to be super negative in my own space, but you know how I was talking yesterday about how this partnership I have, it's a new NFT marketplace, and they're supposed to launch today, but they also told us that we were going to have 24 hours in advance, and that, like, we would all be able to be on their platform before it got launched. And then PD was like, no, we're not. And it turns out that they were late. I finally got myself registered on their website, and it's going to cost $15 for me to sell my NFTs that usually sell for about $15. So we'll see what happens with this partnership.
Yeah, I mean, all that I've heard from you doesn't sound right, and that's my only feedback. But it sounds like you're gonna write it out.
Yeah, I mean, I put a cute cat on there as my first NFT with them. So, I mean, I think I just got really stressed with them because they keep telling me deadlines and then like it doesn't happen. and then it puts me in a bad spot because I'm like, oh well, this is going to happen, and then now I'm lying to my own user base because it's a third party that it didn't work out. So.
Well, I'm very curious. I really want to know what your cats think, and then I also want to hear about everybody that's going to be in the gallery.
Yes. Yeah, so let's keep it with that. 21 Marchits, are you also having dinner? Are we all, did I just have dinner too early? We have just been like Amy's supper show?
No, I literally just came back from the shops. So, yeah. I just came back from the shops. I don't know if you can hear me because my internet connected.
It is kind of in and out.
Yeah, because I'm walking into my house. So I'm on mobile data right now, so I'm walking. Give me like 2-3 minutes.
Okay, well, I guess Zeller and I are gonna hold it down until everyone is finished traveling and having dinner. Zeller, did you have any more news today about jobs? Did you do the video that you said you were going to? I want all of the information.
Yes. So I haven't heard anything back about the mural, and I sent him information and gave him a quote and sent him some mock-ups. So, I'll give that a few days and I'm going to just let it be because I've already texted him twice and it's just the ball's in his court. And then the other job I'm actually working on right now, I was just going to do some editing because we are going to have a phone call tomorrow morning. And I just need to figure out, it's just this guy's so sweet. He's an incredible artist. And he painted murals in Los Angeles for 20 years, which is just crazy. And so I feel like we were supposed to meet, but I've got to figure out the payment, so we're going to talk tomorrow morning and I'm going to bring it up tomorrow morning. And so I consider that a positive. So I'm stoked. And thank you so much for, I'm going to say, tipping me for my promo film, which, by the way, making this film was so fun. And I loved the whole idea of Animal Farm. We need to get into a rhythm where these artists are consistently exhibiting in these shows. And so they get more familiar with how it works. I feel like we're just in the beginning. And your space, we need to be talking about the artists and who's exhibiting and the Metaverse Gallery. And notice I shortened my space because I really want to stay consistent with it on Mondays, and I just have to be realistic. So I keep it to 2 to 2.5 hours. And yeah, anyway, so that's what's going on. I can't wait to hear about the artists. And there's Petey.
Yeah. Hi, Petey. How are you? Are you also having dinner?
I just literally finished giving my dad some dinner. I'm not going to eat right now. I'm probably going to eat a little bit later. But I'm dealing with the whole super cluster thing right now. So, yeah. But everything's good on my end.
Yeah, I mean, I went to go mint it, because the mint was free, and I was like, this is just like OpenSea, so I didn't have to pay for that part. So when I go to sell it, it'll definitely be free, right? And it was $15, and I was like, I don't think so. But yeah,
So over here on my end, I was trying to create my profile like they told me to. And when you go into your profile, you submit your picture, your banner, everything, your bio. And then I noticed that they didn't have a save button. That they had an update, right? But it wasn't doing anything. So every time I would go to see something else, nothing would save. So I was like, something, it's okay. It's the first day. Not a lot of stuff is going to get done. It's cool. And on the Telegram side of things, a lot of people are having issues. And it's normal for a launch like that big. But yeah.
You know, I made myself, I'm live streaming right now on YouTube and Twitch, and the gallery isn't officially open, but I did open it up because Zeller asked about Edwin's, um, about his art and like what is he showing. I wanted to show screenshots, but so I guess you can get a sneak peek if you want to watch it on Twitch or YouTube, which you probably don't, but
Yes,
it's
of
open.
course we
So
do. Art, of course we want to
yeah,
watch it.
'cause
But guess what? I'm cooking soup.
yeah, because y'all are gonna have to see like.
So we're all just eating while you're starting a space.
Do I just make you all hungry? Like we're all hungry. You're all gonna get it, but also just
Well,
like
it's
literally
6,
hungry.
It's 6 p.m. I mean, usually you start it a little bit later, right?
So I used to start it at 10 p.m. Eastern time, but then I
Right.
got asked to start it earlier,
Ah,
and it works out because these type of spaces, they don't really start until like an hour into it, and then by like 11:30 p.m. I feel comfortable being like, y'all, I'm tired, let's go. And then by like 1 a.m. I'm actually off the phone. So there's that.
okay. But I am just letting you know, I'm just cooking a little soup. But I'm
Yep.
here.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to follow on Twitch or YouTube. Because I think it would be fun to go through the gallery and see people's work while they're talking about it.
Yeah.
So I will be doing that.
That's what we're going to be doing on Saturday in detail. But yeah. So, just putting that out there that Zeller has a shop. Like the theme is when you first get into the metaverse, there's just a bunch of like still shops that everything looks normal, but then you go to the back of the buildings and everything is like rubble. So Zeller is a storefront in my metaverse this month.
Well, thank you. And yeah, I loved making this piece. I make all the promo films for Art Inspired by Banned Books, and it's just, I was going to ask you, Art, how do you make the decision for what book that you're going to design the next Metaverse Gallery? Is there a list you have, or what inspires you to make or pick that book?
So I do have a list, and it's from the American Library Association for the most part. For Christmas, I did look up Christmas-related books that are banned because we've done a lot of heavy themes this year, and I kind of just wanted to be in the Christmas spirit and do Christmas. So that's why we're doing the Christmas theme. But in January, because next year we're doing a quarterly themes. So the first theme for next year is going to be a theme redux. So like every theme that we've done so far, just redone with a new metaverse, and then we're gonna give to the Dolly Parton Giving Library, her charity that she does. So yeah, so next month is the Christmas theme, and we're going to be giving to NAMI. That's a mental health charity, because while we all like to think about Christmas being like the most wonderful time of the year and family and like all the good things, it is a time of the year when people have it's tough mentally. What can I say?
I would say that and I'm not trying to speak for anybody in the space, I would say majority of people have very high anxiety around Christmas. Even if they do get along with their families, there's always something. There's always some crazy thing that's happening. And I mean, I guess I can only speak for myself, but I know statistically it's a high anxiety, difficult time for a lot of adults, I would say, including myself. It's Christmas. The whole thing to me is, I mean, I don't have any kids, and I get it if you have kids, but if I had a kid, I'm just like, why do we tell them the Santa story? Like, let's just have lights and candles. You know, I love the lights and candles. But Art, I asked about Animal Farm.
I know. So
I know you want to jump to Christmas.
yes,
But
I know.
how do you feel about designing this killer gallery, and the way that you designed it, how does it relate to Animal Farm?
So for Animal Farm, I wanted to do this particular book because we had the midterms, and I thought it was November 20th, so I was like, we're going to do this on the 19th, and we're going to amp up our rhetoric of, like, you should vote. This is the dangers of authoritarianism, which is what the book is trying to say. Like, we're trying out different systems of government, and at the end of the book, it was basically the same thing all over again. So that's why we have the split theme of basically protesting. Why do we care? Like, what do we care about? And then on the flip side, utopia and community. And so it's just basically this metaverse is supposed to be saying, like, what do you hold dear to your heart? What, like, is your, like, opinion about things? Like, what makes your quality of life, and what do you stand up for? And then on the flip side, like what is our pursuit of happiness? What is happiness?
I mean, I would say happiness is freedom. And I will say that the way that you designed this was super creative. And I love the way the artwork's displayed. And I'm so curious who in the room, I can't wait to see their pieces and associate them with what they're saying. So really cool. I get more and more into this art. So it's fun. And we'll get to Christmas. We will. I promise.
Okay, but now I've tweeted at Edwin his, like, where it is, like, publicly, and the tweet disappeared. So now if you see it twice, Edwin, it's definitely just because something happened on my end that I cannot find this tweet in order to pin it up to the top. Cause
oh no! Do you see the one that I pinned up atop?
Oh, okay. We will get to that. Yes. Now I see it. Okay. Okay, yeah.
About, like, how we always talk about the freedom and what is happening. It's very hard to actually pinpoint. Yeah, it kind of is very hard to pinpoint because, cool, freedom is kind of fun. But, like, what are you going to do with it? I think obviously that's what Animal Farm kind of connotes. Like, what are you going to do with the freedom you got? Are you going to do the same thing as before? Because inherently we've learned from our predecessors, and our predecessors, meaning our past people in government, kind of learned from. So naturally you replicate what you learn from, because obviously we're in a cycle where we can't do anything.
Okay, so I can't hear him at all. Can you, Art?
It's very muffled.
Oh.
Okay, Robert can't either.
Let me leave and come back.
Okay.
Yeah, he was talking about freedom, and then it got really muffled. I didn't want to interrupt him, though.
What's going on?
Me, I am. Oh, okay, gotcha. Because you're gonna ask Robert what his piece is, and like because I've placed all the things. I'm like getting better at just knowing whose pieces are whose, but I just wanted to make sure that I was going to the right place before I embarked on the journey in my meta maze. But yeah, PD, are you going to be waiting for Supercluster to use Polygon, or are you just going to spend a lot of money to have your NFTs for sale?
Okay, so I believe I'm gonna use Polygon, and what's it called? I have an individual who's gonna help me out. I don't know his name right now. I don't have it. Give me 1 second. He's part of the. I don't know if you've ever met him. His name is Dream QC. He develops. He's been developing this project as well with dragons and whatnot, and it looks really cool. And I came into Queen from CCP's what's it called, their Twitter space, and it was late at night. I want to say like it was around maybe 1 in the morning, and I couldn't sleep, so I was just up there listening to stuff, and they were asking me questions about my project and whatnot because Queen knew about it, obviously, and what's it called? She introduced me to this individual, and he just offered to do the smart contract for myself and basically do the whole mint link page, and all I have to do on my end is just basically finish all the artwork, which that's what I'm trying to do right now. And once when that happens, we're gonna go ahead and put it on Polygon. The only thing is, as I continued to explain my project, and they weren't really on the fence of having it free, especially because I was supporting like a charity, and the gentleman who was helping me out with the smart contract wants to be able to connect both of the collections that I'm going to make into stacking them, so like that there's actually utility for the NFTs. And the second collection, which is the one that I've been trying to put since OpenSea, will act like boosters and whatnot. It's very like technical stuff. I was just like, okay, that's a lot of information, but I will understand it as we go. And that's basically it. And since it's gonna have utility, I'm gonna be selling each one for like about maybe, I think it's like $11 or $15 or something like that. Like that, whatever I make, half of that goes to Nami, right? Because that's the one that I've been working with since forever. And since I'm gonna have 5,000 of those, the second collection, whoever wants to use those NFTs as boosters to help them collect more of incentive or utility, I'm only having like 600 of them, so the price is gonna go up on those. But as of right now, that's about it. And so far, the art has been coming out really cute. My sister likes them. They're very reminiscent of Doug from Nickelodeon and such. And I mean, I try.
Well, you were the very first thing in my charity collection before it got shuffled around. And if anybody ever, because I've only sold one from that, but I've also haven't advertised it. But yeah, yours is the one that I accidentally, like, it minted a static website instead of your NFT, so yours is going to get airdropped to the person that wins that as a dubious prize. So, but I really liked that little collection that you made for me that are animated band books, and and yours is a very important collection. Like, you're talking about mental health, and it's not something that, like, it's not a super popular topic. So I'm really glad that you're expressing yourself.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying. And I found over the course of like Twitter spaces that it is difficult to talk about, and not a lot of people are comfortable talking about it. So you know, I try to listen to see where I'm at, and if it's cool, I'll go ahead and explain. If not, I won't say anything. Robert, you had your hand up.
Oh yeah. No, I just want to thank Art for putting my thing up there. I just finished eating, so my dog is looking at me like, "What time are we going outside? I gotta go." So that's what I'm doing. You guys hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah, you know how it is with the pets. They, at the end of the day, they control you, low-key. So yeah, have fun. Come back to us later.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 20 minutes. I gotta go take him out.
Yeah, and you can go for a walk as well yourself, because you know how like used to be this whole work from home thing. We don't like to go outside anymore, but you kind of need a walk outside, if that makes sense.
Yes, you make absolute sense. And Robert, I'm totally sorry I just jumped in there. I just 100% think it's great that Robert is going to go today, like walk his dog, because my dog is looking at me the same way. But I walked her earlier and we're going to walk after. But yes, definitely go outside. And I understand what you're saying, because we really do need to go outside. And the photo grabber is down there, and he's the one who always says to go outside and touch grass.
I know, right?
So yes, sorry, Robert. Go ahead and respond.
Yeah, I mean, he waits for me till 8 o'clock so we can tell him, "You want to go popos?" He just flicks his head into one side to the other, like, "Come on, let's go. We gotta go." He starts going, "Come on, let's go." And I'm like, "We just wait a little bit, buddy. Let me finish eating, and then we can go." And yeah, but it's fun. We'll take him outside. We started walking him outside, and then because he used to go in the yard, but now he waits for me like 12 hours till I get home, till 8 o'clock, and then we go outside. Because before I had him, I didn't go out, but now I go with him in the bike ride, and he just pulls me because he likes running, so it's a lot of exercise for him. So that's pretty cool that we can go together. But it's freezing outside, so it's gonna be harder.
Yeah, that's the key. I feel like I don't want to talk to your dog, but I feel like obviously like your dog wants the new environments to walk in, you know, because it's boring walking around the same square. See, even like as people, we kind of need new environments as well to walk in. So that's why like sometimes I'll do like I wouldn't advise anyone to do it, but I would do like a thing of like no Google Maps, but I would just walk, and then where my intuition like tells me to go to, I would take this corner and just like follow that path and see where I end up at. Like just because like I need to probably explore new areas even in my own area. Like there's places that I haven't been to. Like that's what I did today, and I found a nice bar. Like it was actually really like I'm like, oh, how haven't I seen this bar in my time living here? But I found it, and I was like, I got a drink. Like chatted to like some of the workers, and like the workers are calm. I'm like, because I came at a time. It was a Wednesday night. No, it wasn't even a Wednesday night. It was like 5 p.m. Wednesday, so like there's no one there because obviously most people work. So I was just like, the only people to chat to was the workers really. So I was just chatting to them, and they're calm. So it was a good day. And if I like Google Maps somewhere, I wouldn't have obviously picked that. Maybe I wouldn't have picked that to go to.
Yeah, it's fun to discover new places. Actually, you only take him the same route every time, but sometimes we take him to a park and he likes it a lot. But yeah, it's fun to discover new places. And he's just looking at me right now. Go ahead.
Really quickly, I have to go give a ride to one of my cousins. I will be back. as soon as I'm done with that. Okay.
Why is everyone traveling in
Yeah.
this place?
I know. We're eating and we're traveling and, we're on the go. I guess it's just too early. Everyone still has shit to do this time of night.
Yeah, but no, it's too late. No, it's not even too late because I'll be up by this time. Because that's why, like, I like how you give me the times, so I can convert it to obviously UK time. Because it's obviously it's 1 a.m. here. So yeah, but we don't sleep in the fleece, so it's cool.
Yeah, I don't normally go, my alarm is not even until 9 a.m. Eastern time, so I don't normally, do early spaces, but I understand that other artists have, other times that they're available, and if I'm here to promote their art, then, I should be having it at different times of the day, trying to get different types of crowds. So I appreciate you being here, even though it's 1 in the morning.
Oh no, it's not 4. It's 1. It's okay. It's not. No, I'm not saying that. Obviously, for you to be oh, let me change my time to adhere to this artist, but because you're the host at the end of the day, so you host at the time you want to host, and people will come if they want to come, and if they're serious about it, you know. So it's not even a thing of don't change your times for other people. That's what I've learned in my days of artistry and stuff and other businesses. You don't change your time for other people because, you not change your time creates subconscious value to the customer because they're like, oh, this person is not changing their time because they know their time has value, so they adhere to their own time zones and their own schedules. So then other people will have to actually work to meet said schedules, and it creates extra value as well.
Yeah, you tend to cultivate, it's kind of like you go to the dog park when it's convenient for you, and then the type of people that are in the dog park at the time that you're in the dog park are probably the type of people that you would get along with because you're there at the same time of the day. I don't know if that makes sense as an analogy, but there we go.
Yeah, that makes sense though, because I feel because at the end of the day, we attract the people that we like because they're the same energy as us. That's why we attract people in us. Even in this space, most people kind of have the essence of the energy that everyone else has. That's why we're in a space together. So I feel like obviously universe likes to attract energies together. Yeah. I want to see my work in. No, actually, I don't want to see it. Because I don't want. Because, I want it to be a surprise, low key, which ones you picked. But, yeah.
I literally just took the screenshot, so if you don't want me to put it up there.
No. You can. Today's the surprise in date, then.
Well, it won't be. I think I put in 3 and this is 2, so there'll still be a surprise.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And it's not even I wouldn't not like I would take a shitty picture, but it's one of those things where if you want to take a better look at it, you should probably buy a ticket and go to the gallery and stare at it.
There we go. Sales. We love that. Yeah. That's how it's meant to be, right? You put the shitty picture, and if you want to see it properly, you buy a ticket. Done. I actually I like it.
Yeah, sorry that I'm always multitasking when I'm hosting, but Zeller asked me to, because normally I just ask the artists to promote themselves and put their own stuff up there, but she wants to know who everybody is, anyways. So um, I was actually feeling really proud of myself until last night when I was like, I still have like 3 more placards to put up, but in the grand scheme of things, I have 2 days to do that. So that's fine. And then POAP XYZ was like, we're nullifying all of your POAPs that are outstanding. And I was like, I was literally going to go and email everybody ahead of time that this was happening. Like, I felt really organized and they messed it up. So anyway, sorry. I'm like, I can't even do this without complaining, but I just.
Yeah, so let's, can we start and go through and talk to the artists and relate it to Animal Farm?
Yes. And then
Awesome.
I will get the photo grabbers because his are super cute. And then we will be done with the people that are in the room. So
Okay.
that's the trick. Like, if you want me to promote you, you should probably be in the room. So, yeah. So, do you want to go over, Edwin? You had, first of all, you have read banned books, which I agree with, and then your pigs with windmills. Could you explain about that?
Yes. I am done eating, so thank you for coming back to me. The one that's featured that was selected was the broken windmill, and that's the one that you posted. It shows you see a couple pigs there with the broken windmill in the background, which in the book represents technological progress as far as symbolism is concerned, and it's a pivotal feature, obviously, in the book several times. You know, the windmill's destroyed twice throughout the course of the book, and ultimately leads to poor Snowball's demise. So you see both of those things featured there with Napoleon Squealer and the windmill with a light glow in the back. The one that I posted that says read banned books, I actually created several because I got really excited about this project. Other than what I submitted, which is the broken windmill, I selected 5, which I published on my own object account, including one really cute one of Snowball, the white pig, of course. So you see that if you take a look at my object as well. So I'm really excited about this project and what it means, and not just Animal Farm, but the bigger picture of thinking about all of the banned books and what does that represent? What does it change in our community? How does that impact things like education, sociologically with people in the future, from what we're teaching our kids today, and then ultimately this lesson of history, right? A true tale, as it were. How does that impact our own democracy? And I know that you mentioned earlier the election season and all of that, which we just went through. So that was definitely on my mind while I was, creating the broken windmill and the additional pictures as well. So hopefully that summarizes kind of where I'm at, and open to any questions.
Okay, so Art by Ed, so nice to meet you. And when I was making Art's film, the promo film, this piece totally stuck out to me. And I thought, wow, that was a major relation to what's going on. And I actually watched the animated version of Animal Farm. And so I'm like fresh on the names, Napoleon and all that. So I think it's interesting. For this piece, you picked Napoleon and was it Snowflake? Snowy?
No, Napoleon and Squealer.
Squealer.
But in my own object file, I do have one of Snowball, which is the white pig that ends up dying or is killed later on. But yeah, in this particular piece of broken windmill, you see Napoleon and Squealer.
Okay, so I absolutely love it. And is this your genre, your 3D artist, or can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you're doing in the space?
Sure. Yeah, I'm actually a long-time photographer and acrylic painter. And recently, I have been going through some stress-related, PTSD-related stuff due to my day job. So I've been off work for several months, which gives me a lot of free time to be on Twitter and in the NFT space and make art, which is pretty fantastic. So sort of revitalized my painting and my art, and I found NFTs a couple months ago. So I started getting into that and editing some of the work that I've already done, photos and acrylics, into NFTs. And then I found AI art, which is, this work is primarily AI based, but I really love it. It's fantastic, and you can really get into some cool things. So I would call myself a multimedia NFT artist, as it were. And so you'll see a mix of a lot of different things in my portfolio as well. You'll see, sometimes you'll see things that I've painted, or photos that I've taken that I've tweaked with and used that to build off the AI, and completely created something different, with only slight nuances that might be related. So it's really fun. I'm enjoying it, and I enjoy the space and the people, and I really like this project. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Absolutely, and good for you for being in this place where you can be creative and do the things that you love, because that is where healing comes in. And I'm glad you were able to discern that whatever your daytime job was, that you needed to step back from that, and now you're creating, and you discovered Web3 and NFTs, and your work is awesome. So definitely keep going.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It has been very healing. And my day job, I actually work in emergency management and primarily deal with responding to disasters. COVID being one of them, wildfires in California being another. Actually, each fire is its own little incident, right? And countless other things. So nothing more stressful than disasters, which is, to the people on the ground that are being impacted by whatever incident it is, it's the worst day in their life. So everything I respond to is the worst day in someone's life. So art has been really transformative to have this quiet time to be able to be creative and make something new and beautiful and give back. And I really love the fact that Banned Books is highlighting two different things: the art and the passion there, and the connection to literacy and the availability of having those reading materials available to our kids, right? And how important that is.
I wanted to add something quickly. Like, I was looking at your object profile and I saw that the piece of Time's Up, and it's in a desert setting, desert. That's how I don't know how you say it in this language, but it's in that setting, and obviously there's a sand and the glass is almost empty. It's on a little 11%. So, okay, we're not going to go into details of percentage, but I feel like it kind of connotes what your job is. It kind of reflects your job, because some people, it's like time is kind of up, but you kind of, when you see someone in your job, you might see look at them and they're like, oh, time is up, but then you see the other plane of resistance there is, because obviously it's not just about just the glass, it's about the whole desert itself and the whole sand that's there, because there's other things to be done in different planes, and I think that's what it reflects that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a really great way to look at that piece. It's actually one of my favorites, one of my newer pieces. There's so many connections there to time and life and the bigger picture of things. So thanks for taking a look at it. I appreciate it.
it was actually. I wanted to look at everything else, but I was like, I need to like put this point in because I was thinking about the point, and then you said, "Oh, you worked in like you worked in like medical care," so then it connected the dots. So I was like, okay, I actually need to say it now, because I was thinking that before I know what your job was that you do in this plane. Yeah. So I get it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate the comments on it.
Are you multitasking? Where are you?
Of course I'm multitasking. What else would I do with my free time?
Well, you're hosting a space.
I know, but Robert was doing a good job of complimenting Edwin. I also took a look, by the way, and I replied to the tweet, and those additional pieces for your collection are freaking cute. Just saying.
Thanks, appreciate it. Maybe I selected the wrong one to submit.
I mean, so for next time, if you actually just want me to pick from your collection, just don't put a piece of art and just put your collection, and I will just kind of pick 4. Because
good to know.
Yeah.
I'll do that next time.
Yeah.
Because I submitted it, and then I kept like making art, and I sat there for like probably 4-5 hours just like making more pictures and going through it and playing, and I'm like, oh, I've already submitted this, so I guess it's too late. But next time I'll definitely keep that in mind, and I'm excited to see what books are coming after Christmas.
Well, okay, so I'm actually gonna go, and that way I'm not a liar, and pull it up. Because if you go to bandbooksart/contribute, I'm trying to keep that up to date so you can actually look ahead of time on what is available and try to I know most people are procrastinators, but knowing something's on the horizon is also good too. So next year we're gonna do a theme redux, so it's like Alice in Wonderland, Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe, Light in August, Scarlet Letter, Animal Farm. I'm missing one because this is the 6th one I just named off 5, but The Christmas Carol. So it'll just be Grimm's Fairy Tale, yes. So yeah, so it's just gonna be all of those themes again, but each it'll be mini rooms that you portal into, so it won't be overwhelming for people, hopefully. And I'll be able to just do a bunch of little mini verses. And then we're doing Wizard of Oz after that. And then Little Blackfish, which is actually it's banned in Iran. And if you listen to Sandy Toes, her aunt was actually imprisoned for many years because she owned that book. So, I wanted it to be a nature conservative charity, but it's actually a book about once you go out into the world and you understand it, it changes your perspective about how you're living your life. So we'll see. And then War of the Worlds will be October through December, and that will be a science one because it's aliens and they don't know why, but technology. We'll just go with it. It's fine. I'm just looking, and I don't actually have the charities written out for any of these, so I think during Thanksgiving break, when I'm in the car for 7 hours, that I will have a think about all of this and get that out onto my webpage so that people can see what is going on, because I think it's even though artists don't generally y'all are different. Some people like to get things done ahead of time and some people don't, but having it available so you know what's going on is pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I listen to like all the books that you picked. I'm like, I don't know, how do I have an NFT for all these events? Like, already. No, because I feel like the, it works. I don't know, it works. Like, I don't know why it works, but it works. For like, Alice in Wonderland, I got that. Like, I know I got that one. But that's why I like you. Like, obviously, I know you were laughing at when, I don't know, were you laughing because I put the heart when you're saying, uh,
How do I already
you want,
have all of these themes? Because
yeah,
they're good themes, okay? And
they're good themes, but a lot can be done there. You know, there's a lot of narrative or like portrayals of events that could be done from a single book. But yeah, but we have it in the bags.
yeah, so I hope that I can see you all next year because we are slowing down from 12, which I think everybody is burned out at this point, to 4. So, we should hopefully just be, refreshed and be able to do this, and it'll be good. I'll have some nights and weekends. I won't be stressed as much. We'll start to do I want to start doing like a student scholarship thing. Um, the first month in all of the cycle will always be the AI art that we do during these spaces will be on display in mazes, which I am currently working on because of a metaverse hackathon. So that'll be like the easiest month. So we have time. We will make time so it all makes sense.
Yeah, it all makes sense. Everything makes sense in a way. Like, I feel like it's kind of weird because, like, I don't know, before I met you and your band books thing, like, I was out here in London towns actually actively looking for a gallery to actually host my works. And then, like, obviously, like, I'm not gonna lie, you kind of need to be like, I wouldn't advise that for a new artist to do that I did because it's not fun. It's not fun because you get like people like obviously they're like, oh, okay, yeah, cool, you do art, we love to see it, and then I say, okay, it's digital. Can you obviously put out? It's on object. Obviously, I can type it on the guy's computer. But and then as soon as I say it's digital, the look you get is mad. Like like it's like it's like it's like you threw his cat down the window. Like not window, like down like the shard. You threw his cat down that shard. That's what it looks like. Like his look on his face. I'm like, oh, sorry, bro, but come on, you have to jump on a new wave. And he's like, he's not having it because you threw his cat down the drain. I'm sorry to use cats as example. I love cats, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any experience with this. Like, as someone that does digital only art galleries, I've heard that basically how they usually work is they have like one central artist that is the moneymaker, and then they basically they put a call for like everybody else's theme, whatever. But it's like you get to know like different art galleries have different vibes, but like I do know from doing a hackathon a few years ago that art galleries they'll take like 50% or more of your the profit from your artwork selling from their gallery, which I'm not doing. I'm selling tickets to the gallery, I'm selling extra NFTs that are outside of the gallery, and the art that is displayed does not belong to me, and 100% of the profits of whatever sold just belong to the artist that it belonged to. You're helping me do my message that I want for banned books, and I'm helping you along the way just to get new eyeballs on your project.
What about other artists that we can talk to that are in the gallery?
So Orla is here, OArt, and he's not actually in Animal Farm. However, he was in my light in August. He is, if you're in the temple and you're looking towards the black and white structure, he has the joyful piece of art, and it's just a woman. I think it's like a pen drawing, but it's colored, and it's a really cool piece of work. And also, OArt, how are you doing? You had, like, right after my gallery, you had, like, your wallet stolen, and you were depressed for a little bit, but you got up, and I've heard that you're doing better, but then you were sick. So yeah, how are you?
Hey, thank you, Amy. It's been actually tough here. So, I see Zela. Zela, how you doing?
Doing great. So tell us what happened, OArt.
Oh my, like it's been quite tough for me, since the last time my wallet got hacked. That was first week in September, and then I've actually been struggling with quite a lot of things, from being on Web3 space to real life situations, and then but I've actually been trying to just put up myself together and keep it up rolling and keep the creativity being non-stop. And that's why I'm still on space. Like, at some point in time, I had to leave this space to just get a rest from everything that is happening here, and then concentrate more on what is happening in real life. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm fine. I'm good. Like, whenever I come here and then I meet up with other people other members in the community, when we start to talk, like, I get relieved and the rest. So I'm actually good. I'm fine now. I'm fine. I think I'm fine. But I still have a lot to figure out. I still have a lot to figure out. Yeah. Thank you very much.
It is always a pleasure to talk to you, Art. Like, I'm very sorry that you've had a very rough time lately, but for a little while there, like, you're always in spaces, and you're very consistent, and I really enjoyed having you in my gallery. And yeah, for everything, thank you.
Please let me know the next time of your gallery show. Yes, don't hesitate to just DM me if there's anyone coming up with this one too, so I can put up some piece together for it.
Yeah, I definitely need to just DM people on Twitter and be like, this is your 2-week mark. Let's do Christmas, y'all. You have a deadline, and then you have a deadline in January. So we'll definitely get you shown again. I am putting up a screenshot of your artwork now from the previous gallery, so we can all ogle your amazing work. So yeah.
That's like I'm just seeing some new faces in the space right now. I Deutsch. I don't think I've met Deutsch before. At my Edwin, is it Edwin? Yes. This will be my first time of meeting you. Nice to meet you, Robert. Oh my god, this is 21 merchants. Nice to meet you too. Dreaming with Sondos. Nice to meet you. And Web3 Feet. Nice to meet you all.
Like, we're all lucky to know all of the people that are in the room. These people are super cool. And, I mean, I only hang out with the best people, so you should come to my spaces all the time, Art.
Trust. That's the word. That's the word you would say like after that sentence in London. Slang as it's called in other, but that's what we would say. Trust, like, you know. And I don't know how to describe the word to you guys if you don't know what it means, but not like trust like inherently definition wise, you know. But it's a slang word of like when someone's saying something that is true, you're like, oh, trust. And then you spud them and give them, spud is, you know, little hand fist. Yeah. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
It's like how Harry Potter popularized like Wicked as like a slang that non-British people didn't know existed, but now we do. So trust. We'll trust each other. And thank you for backing me up, 21 Merchants. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we have to back our peoples. Like, I don't know, I feel, you know, you should can I put your own, I know your real name, can I say it? Art by Inspired Brand Books.
Amy. You can call me Amy.
I know. Okay. Amy, no, because I feel like if you was to come to London, you kind of see how, like, we talk to each other here, you know? Because, like, when I went to a shop, like, just, like, what, hour ago, like, I was like to the guy was like, because obviously it's midnight here, so our shops in midnight are not allowed to sell, like, certain things past midnight, but because he knows me, he's gonna be like, bro, cool, I got you, and then you could buy your own thing, what you want to buy. But other people would not be, you know, shown the same respect in the shops, like, because you kind of have to build respect in like your local shop, you know, like that's inherent. Like, you build a local trust, like, and like I know if I come in the like afternoon, like the guy knows my order, like even though it's a shop, but he has it ready. I don't know how he does it, but he has it ready because of this. Obviously, being about, and he's my guy. And then even though I'm giving him money, he's still my guy. Like, I'd rather give him money than another shop. That's how it kind of feels. And I feel like the NFT space kind of gets that same mindset, but like, I'd rather give like people in the space my money than like other people, you know? Like, people that I know, I'd rather give them my money than other people. I want my time. Time is money at the end of the day.
I think I followed that conversation, but yeah, like, people are always like very cavalier with like, you should just pay someone to do that, and I'm like, with whose money? Are you going to pay me to pay this person? Like, who's financing this? Like, I finally broke down and I was like, Zeller, please make these promotional videos so that I can get the word out there and I don't have to spend 3 hours doing this, because guess who doesn't have like the 3 hours to do this? Me. It's worth it for me to ask Zeller to make these promote videos that we're going to try to ramp up so that we're actually, you know, highlighting the artist and the galleries and, getting the word out there, which you all should also approach Zeller and get your short promo films. And, because people are very attracted to, like, is it flashy? Does it move? Like, can we have it visually appealing? People will stop and they'll notice. So, I am hardcore selling you Zeller right now.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And yeah, for whenever you guys are ready, having a short promotional film is super helpful. And when you get into a position where you can do it, definitely contact me, because I take your content and I make a story under about 30 seconds. I put it with royalty-free music. We go through a couple edits together to make sure you're happy with everything and how it flows. And I've been doing this for 6 years, and it's an awesome promotional tool for yourself. And so Art Inspired and I both have a really good working relationship, because I get to promote her galleries, and I love revisiting these
And they'll
books.
notice. So
when I watched
I am
Animal Farm the other
hardcore
night,
selling.
I was in tears when Boxer died and the donkey was crying, and I really thought, gosh, we go through so much pain, and actually we hurt each other. Humans hurt other humans. It's always been like that, and I feel Web3 is a change for us and a way to shift and have some hope. So watching the animated version was so cool, and revisiting it, and then making a promo film about it, because that's what I'll do. I study your brand, I study what you do, your colors, and I kind of put it all together. So just DM me if you have any questions. And Art, I'm still trying to follow you live on YouTube.
I just gave you the actual link.
Okay,
And
that's better.
it had, like,
coming up on my desktop.
Yeah, the horrifying moment of, like, the forever echo, because it's behind, like, 10 seconds. And so I'm really glad I was muted, because it really is horrifying. If anybody's ever done multi-streaming, like, don't ever try to go into it with all your microphones on. It doesn't work out well.
That is true. That is very true, because I know, because actually I don't even want to, like, it's not promote my art, but, like, I'm kind of have to, like, add it to the picture. Where did she go? Rosella went. But obviously, my art, like, work kind of has a inherent motion to it, but the motion is only unlocked if you, like, view it at a certain angle. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, because I make them to obviously show a story. It shows a story, and the story moves, because we've done that technology before back in. That technology is very fun, but so I'll give you, like, synopsis of how to view, because most people view on a phone. So on your phone, you kind of have to, like, unfocus your eyes. If you have glasses, you have to unfocus your eyes to the point that you see stuff very blurry. If you don't wear glasses, you have to, like, unfocus your eyes to a point that you cannot distinguish a 3 from a 5. And that is normally obviously achieved by 20 centimeters away from said screen to 30 centimeters, plus or minus eye perspective and angle, and obviously the color of eyes as well is. But you kind of have to practice that for a bit, and then you can see the motion. And you have to learn meditation as well, because you need to be comfortable with seeing something and not thinking anything of it. So you need to be open-minded, and then you'll see emotion. Yeah, that is literally the key to unlock the NFTs.
Just so you know, my laptop is making weird noises. So if it explodes and I have to go to the hospital because I've got caught in this explosion, you'll know why. Okay. We'll just pretend it's not happening.
Yeah, we have to, because it's not going to happen.
Yeah. It's fine.
That's why we,
Yeah.
We have to believe the best outcome for every situation.
Yes. Yeah, because you're talking about your artwork, so I wanted to get back to it on my,
And I like the pieces you picked, though. I don't know why you picked it. I want to know why you picked it. That's why I want to ask.
So I picked them. Well, first of all, I picked them and then I figured out where they were going in the gallery, but it turned out that I had space in the purple building and you had 2 pieces that were purple. And they're just the few, like there was a few that I happened to like more than others. Sorry to have favorites, but everybody has like things that speak to them. So
Yeah, no, but I want to know the reason. Like, I don't know, did you read the descriptions? That's what I want to ask, like, the reason behind you picking it. Like, the proper reason,
like,
why?
I assume, well, first of all, when you tell me I can pick anything from a collection, I'm looking for like things that I feel fit the the metaverse, and like, is it going to fit with the vibe of what I'm doing? And then I picked random ones. Also, since you had more than 4, I figured some of the other ones we can probably put in future galleries. So I wanted to leave some there that, for future use. So I didn't read the descriptions. I just happened to like these the best for this purpose.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that like they read the descriptions, because I don't know, that's what, because I saw the 2 that you put up. I was like, okay, that was a fun one that I made. Like, I remember the time when I made it, I was like, yeah, that was a fun one to make. Yeah, like I don't know if you know it by name, but the Cosmical one. Cosmical is the one with the woman looking at the little drawings on the notepad.
Yes.
Yeah, like the most pink one. Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, that is a cool one, and I know why it is there, if that makes sense. It kind of like, yeah, see, confirmation. There's confirmation right now. I don't know, because in my time there's confirmation. Because right now on the time is T. So I'm like, a confirmation. But yeah, I know why. Because that one's a very, like, I feel like with the class of like art I do, that's when I actually pop up, like, I acknowledge my level, if that makes sense. Like, not level as like a good artist, but level as magic. Like, that's why I actually acknowledged like, oh shit, I can actually do this magic shit, you know? Like, and make people be drawn to artwork. That was a like pinpoint. Like before I was doing it and I was like, okay, cool, like it looks nice. Okay, I wasn't like it looks nice because every art like piece I do and it progressively gets better. I don't know if you noticed it looking at my object, but it progressively gets better because I feel like it's like a confidence in artistry. And artistry can obviously be applied to different divisions. Like you can have artistry in business and you'll be a good business person. You can have artistry in marketing, that's what they like, but you'll be a good marketer because you know why? You can make people think they want something, but they don't really want it. That's what marketing artistry is about. But we digress. So I don't know, but with that one, I'm like, it was a pivotal point because like that's when I was like, oh no, I did bits here. Like you know when you post something, like you make something and you're like, what did I even make here? This is a madness. Because like if you I don't know. I that's the problem. I need to like. It's not even a problem, but it's a mission that I have to go on. I want to know how people see normally, because I'm very convinced people do not see density in this realm. So I want to see if people actually see density, or if I'm thinking I'm special because I can see density.
I mean, it's certainly very abstract. I will say that. And so it's one of those things where you put it in the gallery and then you let people draw their own conclusions about what they're saying.
Yeah. See, that's why that's why I want a gallery, because I want like people not to be like saying, you know, like obviously these show spaces, like I've been in a couple, but I'm like, you're not actually looking at it for more than 2 seconds, because I feel like in a gallery you kind of have time to look at it and actually observe what's going on in the piece of work you're looking at. And yeah, I don't know, but Amy, I want to showcase my newest bits, like.
Please do. Yeah, put it on the.
Because you know, like I think I messaged you, yeah, because I took a little break in it of this whole phone thing. Like you know when you just like leave your phone to die for a week, like because I'm like, no, I'm done. Because if you know when you're in the energy of like, wow, if I'm on this phone any longer, I'm going to delete every single app and just start fresh. So I was like, no, I can't do that. Let me just turn off my phone for a week and I'll be good. That was the vibes, really.
Yeah, I mean, we all go through burnout sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. I think, we all go a little bit too hard too often.
Yeah.
And, sometimes you just have to pull back, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but in my head, there is something wrong with that. I'm like, okay, cool. Why are you doing this? In this 1 week, you know, like, I know there's a lot of thoughts coming through, because I'm like, in that 1 week, I could have made how much? Or I could have done something, but obviously in terms of preferring to like, because I know because with me I'm like I don't want. I hope and no one actually experiences what I experience because it's very mad. But hopefully, if you want to experience it, you can. But like, if I don't reply to someone in 10 minutes, like if they send me a message and it's 10 minutes or 12, like they're thinking, oh, what happened? Like, did you get emped off? Like, it's that kind of vibe because of the playing field I'm on. That makes sense because it's a thing of like we're talking a lot about like in my NFT we're talking about a lot of things that we're not meant to talk about. And come on, like we get kidnapped on a daily basis at this point. Like like it's very bad. Like how when you get used to being kidnapped for a day or two, that's when you know it's bad. I'm like, oh, I'm about this life. Because obviously we know I talk about banking shit in it, and they're very sticky about what banking laws you can talk about. But I had to give them a little piece. This is my latest piece, and it's titled what it's titled there. But the things you do for the clientele, because they want a little bribery, as we call it.
So, I'm looking at your pinned tweet, and I think I always like the borders that like how you've matted the notepads. It really adds to like the ambiance of the entire photo. Also forgive me, like I don't have any art training, so I use like plebeian words to describe things, but it's very abstract, but it's nicely balanced. So yeah, I do like that it's like slightly like Asian calligraphy, sort of, like not really, but with the signature stamped in the corner, it kind of gives me the vibes. So that's why I respond to it, or how I respond to it. What do you think, Jen?
I was gonna actually say something about the taking off all your apps on your phone. Actually, when I get a new phone, I usually will start with no apps on it, because then I'm forced to like really remember like what, or like to only add back the apps that I actually use or need. So that's one extreme way to go about things. Yeah. So if I'm working while I'm doing this, but if I'm looking at this, my first thought is that it's just like when a client tells you how to do something instead of tells you like what they want the result to be, and so it ends up like over engineered. That's my take on the image.
Yeah, that makes sense, because that's how our clients come to us. I don't know, because I feel like in the space, no, not space, I can't use that word because Twitter spaces, but in the realm and division and our clientele we give products to, they give us a broad objective of what they want to be done. So as my USP, unique selling point, I like to over provide the clientele so they come back to me. That's always been my mission. Like, it's not my mission. Like, it's efficiency, because I'd rather over engineer some clientele's project, and then they'll be like, oh, he went above and beyond in said project. So I'll come back and then they'll go above and beyond, instead of doing multiple different projects to get the same capital. No? So for this one, what it was, the objective was, make something that, like, make a filter that makes the audience see, like they wanted to make the audience attentive to whatever they've been showing behind the filter. So it's a filter to introduce attention. So for that project, what we did there, we mixed, like, I don't know, we mixed certain stimulants that is given to anxiety patients together. But because I realized something, like, substances can, at the end of the day, when you take a substance, it just alters your chemical balance of the brain. No? So then, after knowing that, you can play with that. Because technically, what you see on the screen alters your chemical balance of your brain at the end of the day. Depending on what you see. That's why people scroll on TikTok for very long, because it gives them dopamine. So then we re-engineered that point. So then we found certain hex coded colors that trick the brain into thinking they've taken said substances. So we trick the brain into thinking they're taking the substances. So it's technically like you are installing the substance automatically when you watch the video. That's the playing for on. But that's what so I could have stopped there, but because we were in the lab and we want to cook something, because you know when you're in, like, that phase of, like, you want to make a madness. I didn't want to make a madness, but we made a madness. So then I found that obviously set attention that is drawn from the audience goes to a place in astral world, because in astral. So then we kind of pipelined a little, we made it into a solar panel, so it collects said audiences energy, a little bit of, like, you know, energy that you would normally give out to TikTok. We'll collect it, but we'll use it better, you know? Like, so we're like a solar panel for, like, oil field at this point. So then you can collect it in a place in astral and then reenact it into the plane right now, like in 3D planes, if you have an object that is capable of holding said energy. That's why I don't retrieve our energy so often. So essentially, we mine attention now. I found a way to mine attention very efficiently.
That's an interesting philosophy. At one point, you were saying how, like, Instagram has a bunch of dopamine. I think all of these social media sites are. And I saw something on Reddit today that I don't know if it's real or not, but it was basically an email from Elon Musk that was like, you're going to have to work really long hours and only the exceptional keep their jobs. And I was like, if I didn't love Twitter so much.
That's on Twitter too. I think that's real, honestly, the way
that sounds like Elon, but because Elon moves like, and that's why Elon, you can do his job. I'm not doing that one. Like, he has his own job to do. I'll rather map, you know? Because Elon, come on, Elon's the battery, you know? And then he's the literal battery. I'm thinking like that. Like, because obviously he's been in different times that most people in this realm have not been to or do not remember going to. You know, Atlantis Epoch 1, he was there. So he's not playing around now because this is a very pivotal moment in this round. Very pivotal. Hence, we are running out of time. Obviously,
21 Merchants, just so you know, your audio is doing that weird thing again where it's going in and out. Like, we could hear a few words, and then we can't, and then I'm trying to be polite, but also, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I know. We're not meant to say this.
So, I was just gonna say, like, if I wasn't so addicted to Twitter, I would probably just stop using it, because I don't like that attitude. Like, why are we trying to push for more work? Like, it should be like none of us are working more than 20 hours a week and, you know, having half the year off on vacation and just being able to, like, live a life. Like, why are we doing automation and making technology better if we're not living better lives? Like, burning me to a halt, like being a husk and working, and I understand that those people at Twitter, they get like $500,000 a year, but like, you're going to burn yourself out, and then what? So
yeah, it was pretty clear, like, when he fired half the people at Twitter, it wasn't that they decided that there was like half as much work to do. They're just like, oh, we're just going to make the existing employees do twice as much work. And ta-da, lo and behold, look what's happened. These like 100-hour weeks are just going to be the norm. And I'm pretty sure he sees people like machines, and that when he burns them out, he just thinks he'll just hire somebody else.
Yeah, that's how we, you know, I want to just interject in that what you said, we see people as machines, because in the realm of work I used to do, like before I took up this whole artist thing, and you know, we used to see people as actual computers, and we can hack them very easily. Like, that's the mission. The mission was like, how can we hack these like a good percentage of the audience collective into like, you know, going to our plan? Because we wouldn't, like, that's the thing is, we're not, it's not about the money, and that's what like I really advocate for. It's not about the money, it's about how you get the money. Because come on, like, if I wanted to, like, no, actually I can't say that. But if by any chance, if I wanted to, I could be chilling in a little island and make a whole Tesco, make a shop. I got my island, but I'm like, we're in this epoch for a reason. We have to kind of initiate change, because the past things were not. It's not working. Like, even though I'm not going to lie, I kind of influenced it, but because obviously making money is kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie, but it's a thing of like there's a line that kind of needs to be drawn, and entities need to know what's really going on here, because this is the madness. Like, cool. I thought it would be like, okay, but like, I thought it would be like a thing of like, oh, everyone wants to get money. They'll better themselves to get that, but then obviously the game kind of changed because obviously other factions and divisions interjected into this plane. So right now we're trying to rebuild as a collective, and that's hence Web3 is coming to play. So then, cool. If we're doing this Web3 way, I would rather like I know, like, cool. I have capital, but like I'm not going to give you capital because I like your work. I want you, like, because you need to actually experience the lack of capital to make your work better. If that makes sense. And that's why I would tell my guys even on the street, like, trust me, like I've been there. Like, I was trying to sell like probably 1 month ago. 1 month ago, I was trying to sell like a piece of artwork in front of the shop because there's a homeless guy like in front of my like supermarket, and he sells artwork. Cool. I was like, bro, your art is sick. Like, I'm like telling him his art is good. Like, it could be in a gallery if obviously his position was different. But obviously he's not in a gallery because of his position. Because obviously when you walk into a gallery, you kind of have to wear good clothes. I'm not gonna lie, because they judge you on that. First of all, they judge you on everything. You like the way you talk. Like, I wouldn't be talking like this if I was. I would, because I don't care. But it's just like the things people judge on doesn't hold merit right now. Because at the end of the day, we see our economies. We're at war now. We're doing WWE at the end of the day. So if we're doing WWE, I am a merchant, so I will sell to both sides and all of the collective, yeah? Because I want to see my guys prosper after, because this is a very pivotal year, because you have to beat the year number, but it's 222, so you see 222 every day. You know what that means? It's mad. This happens once in 1 million, not 100,000 years. That's this time here. I'm like anything we do it like to the best of our ability, because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Not once in a lifetime opportunity because you get multiple lifetimes, but this is a very historical moment in time. So you kind of have to play it well, and then that's why I'm like, cool. Like, because I was on the trading thing right before. I don't want jump in, Amy, if you're tired of me, my voice, but like I was.
Okay, so sorry, you were like, that's probably not the most polite way of going about this, but well, thank you for your opinions on this matter. I tend to think that like everybody has good ideas and not everybody has the resources to execute on them, but just because some people have the resources doesn't mean like they're the better person. I just want to say hi to Pixie real quick and say hi to Jen too, because we haven't really been able to say much, but then we'll probably get back to you. So, Pixie, how are you?
Oh, I'm stuffing my face with dinner. But hi, guys. How's it going? I just got done doing a pod shower for a podcaster who's trying to raise funds. So, yeah, that's why I was so late. But yeah, I'm here now.
How did it go?
Well, fundraising is one of those kind of things that you need people to be able to spread the message and hear the story. Everybody has an interesting story. Well, some people have interesting stories. Some people are just really good at telling a boring story. So the girl that we were doing our podcast shower for, Donnie. She's trying to get to a convention, and so I had her tell her story. Fantastic girl. She's very educated. She's very sweet. She knows what she's talking about on her podcast. But the problem is that if people don't know that she's hosting the space or she's doing this for her fundraising, it's really kind of hard. And I see that every time I go into these NFT spaces. I see that when people are trying to fundraise, that sometimes you need a bigger person with a bigger platform to be able to help them. So for me it was successful, but it wasn't monetary successful. So I think I'm probably going to try and get her to do another space with me, talk about it, share it some more. It's really a numbers game at that point, just like what you guys are doing with NFTs. Oh, excuse me, sorry. The food's getting to me. But I just wanted to come in, just hang out, say hi. How's it going, Amy? How's it going, Jen? How are you guys?
I am amazing. Thank you for asking. I am having one of those type of days where I just want to complain about everything, even though my life just isn't that bad. Like, just objectively, nothing is terrible. But here we are. So, I'm trying to be good company for people and to highlight the artists that are in my gallery. I'm not sure if you've seen all of my tweets that I've been putting up to the top. I keep saying, like, I don't have enough time in the day to just tweet out all of the artists that are in my gallery. There's too many of them. But Zeller, who was my co-host for the majority of tonight, was like, maybe we should talk about the artists and you should stop complaining. And I was like, okay, well, we're just going to take a screenshot of everything. And if you want to see it better or on your own, you can go and buy a ticket to the gallery. That seems like a good idea. So I'm live streaming on YouTube, and she was like, peace out. I'm just going to watch on my... Zeller, this is what happens. I always put words in people's mouths. Hopefully she's still watching. So.
What's your YouTube, by the way? Is it there?
It's Banned Books Art is my handle or my channel name. I put a link up top or tweeted out. But I would recommend, if you're gonna watch it, to like
make a link tree.
I have a link tree. It's in my profile.
Oh, is it? Is that? Oh, really?
Yeah.
But it's a special one. Let's see. Let me click on it. Oh.
Yeah. So then you go into like the live tab, and yeah. So I do that every once in a while. Tonight I was just like, since we're going to be talking about the artist, I'm probably going to be looking at their art. So I may as well live stream and, go into their stuff while we're talking and let people hear and see it at the same time. So yeah, there's that. And then my computer's making weird noises like it's going to explode, so we'll see how long this live stream happens for. It is a little worrying, but I bought an external hard drive and it just has to last until tomorrow, until I take everything off of my computer and then be like, hey, Apple Store, can you tell me what's going on with my laptop?
I love it, the fact that you're highlighting the artists. How many artists did you have this gallery? That's what I want to know.
So, the day before yesterday, I had 24, and then I was doing something and realized that there was one more artist that I really needed to put in my gallery, so I quickly put them in, and nobody has to know about this except I am like admitting to things that nobody asked me about. I feel super bad.
I love you, Amy.
I'm just like, I'm done. All the placards are in place. I've like MVP is done, and then I was like, wait, oh no, they're really good friends. What happens is like if you don't fill out the form.
Are you talking about me, Amy? Did you forget to add me here?
I mean, maybe, but yes.
Well, regardless if you forgot to add me, I am one of your supporters.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm into NFT, that I've made NFT art, that I've submitted NFT art to multiple of your galleries is because of you. I believe in the worlds that you're building. I believe in the structure and the uplifting of people. Yes, you might complain about things that don't matter on a Wednesday night, but for the most part, you are a very kind and understanding. You even let us ramble on when when maybe we shouldn't. But I appreciate you, and it happens. That's the thing, is that if you need me to fill out the Google form, you need to tell me, because I don't listen. I'm like you're one of your stray NFT cats here. I will fill out the form the next time for the next gallery.
I mean, it's totally fine, because for Christmas, I was like, okay, y'all, here's what we're doing. My Christmas gift to you is that you can just put your Christmas NFTs in this Twitter thing, and I will just put your stuff in my gallery, and nobody has to say anything different. I will just be extra careful to make sure that I put everybody in the gallery as a Christmas gift, not to myself. So, but nobody has replied so far. So, but to be fair, it was like November 1st. It was like literally the day after Halloween. So, I don't know why, but I was just like in the mood for making Christmas and doing Christmas stuff. I just, it's just one of those things where it's my last gallery before we're going quarterly, and I'm feeling the stress. So I kind of just want to get it over. I mean, kind of want to get it over with, but like, it'll be really nice to get my last responsibility for the year done, so that
Would you like me to send you my Christmas NFTs that I haven't?
Yes.
I don't post anything to my gallery, guys. I have like, I think 10 pieces in my gallery for purchase. I don't market myself. I only just make NFT art and then just send it to Amy for whatever reason. But I made a whole bunch of Santa Claus in battle armor carrying an axe. and
Acceptable.
I haven't sent it to anybody. Nobody has seen it. So if you want, I can send it to you, Amy, and then it could be, you could gift it to people if you want. You can, it's what I do with you. I just give you art.
You can make it into a separate, just be like Battle Santa collection, and then make them all 1 ETH, so that, we all know that it's a joke. And then I will put it into my art gallery at 1 ETH and be like, this is my badass pixie Santa moment, and isn't it badass? And you should all buy it because Pixie is a badass, just like this art. So,
Okay, so that's my goal tonight. Get my laptop, hook it up, and add the Santa Christmas battle art, and then I'll send it to you. But I got this.
That's amazing. And then I'll have the second artist for Christmas so far. And this is how it goes. Like, we're halfway through November, so maybe I should be panicking, but no, because artists are all procrastinators, and I know you all have Christmas art. So, like, I'm just gonna go and DM people after the gallery and be like, look, I'm dead. I'm dead from this gallery. It was a lot of work, but you need to give me your Christmas art. Anything Christmas, anything Winter Wonderland, anything family related. We're giving to NAMI. It's a mental health organization. It's gonna be a good time. And yeah. Pixie, did I tell you about the Metaverse Hackathon I got invited to?
No, tell me about it.
So I got invited to this group, and it's a hackathon that they want us to do a game that is in the metaverse that uses the Optimism blockchain and uses the OpenSea API. So I was like, I got this. We're going to make a maze. We're going to get random NFTs from OpenSea, and it's going to be a timed game where you have to find all of the art that is in the maze within 5 minutes. And then, because that's not complicated enough, apparently, each image that you pick up will have a random word that's associated with it. And then we're going to, and if we can, like, this is like a stretch goal, make it AI art generated. So you get at the end like a piece of art that was made based off of your effort in the maze. So that is, and then it's for a competition. So hopefully we'll win. I don't know, like, I'm not competitive until I super am, and I am being super competitive. I'm like, we're gonna do this. It's my metaverse, and I've already done most of the programming for, like, I literally already had it done, basically. So, you know, I'll get it done this. I would say this weekend, but like Saturday's kind of shot because we're doing the gallery opening. And then Sunday's usually, like, afterwards, I'm like, oh, wow, my house is trashed. I should, like, fix some of this, maybe. But, like, yeah, hopefully this weekend. If not, I have, like, 14 hours in a car over Thanksgiving weekend. So hopefully I'll have some time then. But I'm really, really, really excited about this. And I think it is, like, as I was making it, I was like, wow, this is so much easier than Dan Book's art. Like, just as a concept, this can be its own thing. Like, this ought to be its own thing. So I'm going to try to get, like, a group of people together to make it a non-profit business, because that's what I'm here for. Like, I want to do things that do good in the world, and it doesn't have to be the most, like, cutting edge bullshit, but it does, like, I want to do fun things that help people. And yeah, so I'm hoping to get a band of people together and get that off the ground next year. Totally next year. Like, please don't talk to me for the rest of the year. But not you, just, like, no more projects, no more hackathons, nothing like that. Like, the only reason I have the time to do this is because I wanted to do this for January next year. So, like, we're doing the custom gallery once a quarter, but the first month out of, like, the quarter cycle is going to be, like, all of the AI art that we make together, just, like, put into a maze. And, like, if it's a game, like, that's even better. And I've already made it, so I don't even have to do it in January. That's great. And then I'm going to do a student scholarship in the 3rd month. So basically just replace all of the art that is in the custom gallery with student art, or art that is on sale that goes to a student scholarship. And then we'll just have like 2 versions of the custom gallery, like reuse it. And that way I only have to make this 4 times a year. So, sorry, Pixie, that was way too much of an update.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome to see where you're going and what you're doing as a world builder, because you're not just an NFT artist, you're a world builder. And as a world builder, people are going to notice you and bring you in, and then want to invite you to a lot of stuff. But it can get a little overwhelming, and you're going to have to say no to a lot of things. You're going to have to say, sorry, today's not that kind of day. Or maybe it's not the week or the month. and you have to keep yourself on your schedule. I like the fact that you're doing it quarterly for next year. That's going to give you a little bit more breathing room. And you're going to have to crack down on us crazy NFT artists and make us fill out your Google form. It's fine. If we forget, or we just don't make that deadline, the only person we could get mad at is ourselves. And eventually those galleries that you're hosting, I'm pretty sure there's going to be other things in the works. Like if somebody wanted their own custom gallery, they could pay you for something that is custom and world building. The one world building that you made, it looked like a dragon. Like, some of the stuff that you were just making amazing things, and we're all just kind of along for the ride. So don't apologize. You're good.
See, I always love being in the same room as you, Pixie, because you're always so uplifting. And yeah, well, I mean, you were just agreeing with me, but I agree with what you just agreed to, so there's that. But yeah, I really want to start doing... Why do I always sound so ambitious when I'm saying things, but I always get it done? But I want to do a training early next year where basically I go through and I make like my infrastructure and everything from scratch, and people pay to do the training, and that way we can, well, it's not just me, other people know how to do it now. And I do feel like Web3 is about ownership, and yeah, like if you want to own land in Decentraland or Alameda, or use a spatial, like what I'm doing is compatible, like the assets are compatible with that stuff. It just means that you can have like a miniverse on your own website and have complete control over it. And like, yeah, you're going to use those other things because they have like it's like using Shopify or Etsy, where like they have their own like pool of traffic, and what you're trying to do is get traffic, because like the more people that see your work, the more chances someone will buy it. But having control, like what Twitter's doing, like you don't want to have your entire social media presence on Twitter and then it's gone tomorrow. Like, what are you going to do? Like, you need to also have like the Instagram and then your own website where people know how to find you. So that's my philosophy. So that's why we're doing this. And like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get this nonprofit thing, but it's also going to be the project that we do for the training. So everything I do is like in line with my goals, and I'm not going out of my way, which is great that I've thought about it a lot, like super a lot, and making sure that what I'm doing in my free time is what I want to be doing. Jen, are your kids asleep? And also, how are you feeling? Jen might be asleep. She doesn't usually fall asleep in the middle of spaces. I shouldn't make accusations.
So let me ask, since I know it's me that got added last minute, what art did you add to the gallery? Because I haven't seen it. I only saw the picture of my art in the background, which looked similar to an angel.
Yes, well, you got 4 pieces because of my guilt, and also you sent me a bunch of things. So, yeah, you have some things in the protesting section, and you have some things in the Utopia section. And in the Utopia section, you did see correctly, it is your angels. They are parallel to each other on the opposite sides of the gallery, so it's a pair.
Well, the animal art, Animal Farm art that I did was, I really wanted something that was in line with the book, in line with kind of like the pigs in sort of military gear, and some of them came out a little interesting, and then some of the stuff I was like, oh, there's more to it. Every time I make art for Amy's galleries, I'm making like art for Amy's galleries. I'm making a lot of different stuff, and I just thought it was kind of cool to be able to poke around and play with it, and then send her. I think I sent you like the 4 best pictures that I had from probably 10 different pictures. So not everything gets sent in, and there's a lot of AI artwork that I create that I just get rid of because it's not up to my standards, and then I don't think it's up to Amy's standards. So sometimes not everything gets posted, and as you guys can hear, not everything gets it. Not only does it not get posted, it doesn't get published, it doesn't get added to my OpenSea gallery, and I just don't share it to my friends. And sometimes that happens, especially when you're an artist and you're just thinking about things. Being part of an art gallery is something special because not everybody gets to do it. Not everybody gets the opportunity to know somebody who's a world builder that you can support with your own art. This is something special that Amy is doing for everybody, and I love being part of it. So when I send something, I'm going to send the best of what I've created, and then knowing from those 4 pictures, if she doesn't add all 4 pictures, I'm not crying, because just to be invited, just to be added to the art gallery, that's something special for me, who I'm just doing this for fun.
Yeah, I probably should be writing that down somewhere. Like, that's what I've been telling people. I'm like, look, it's not your gallery. I need to limit it to 4 so that it doesn't overpower literally everybody else in the gallery. Like, I get that you're excited, and I'm very excited for you, but like, we are literally doing this on a rolling basis, so we can get your art in there. The thing is, I'm looking at the art, like, I just like restarted my computer, and I'm at like the start screen. Jen, I see you, but like the vibe that you're supposed to get from when you're first in the gallery is like there's nothing wrong, like everything's this, like there's a facade of everything's like it's just like a regular shopping center, but then like there's this pig with a machine gun, so we might have to like switch that around in my gallery so that it's not the first thing you see.
We're just leading them in with machine guns. Hi, Jen, how's it going?
Good. I was just gonna say, I think the word Amy like that I think of is like curate, like the the owner of the art gallery usually is the one who like curates the art, and so it's like selecting in and figuring out what fits into that particular gallery. So, you know, that's standard. I don't think you should ever have to apologize for that. Just you know, if you literally just threw everything in, then it wouldn't be a gallery. It'd almost be like you know, one of those take one boxes on the side of the road where people just throw their junk into. Not that it is junk, but it's like that there's no rhyme or reason to it then, right? It's just like randomness. But you have themes, and sometimes people specifically make them for your gallery, but a lot of times people are like, oh, here's some art I have, and you can apply it to the theme, and so that curation then is that much more important. So you're doing the right things. Don't ever feel bad about it.
And I'm just gonna put it out there that the people that make things for my gallery specifically, those are the pieces that tend to sell even before the gallery opens. Like, it's just because these are like heavier and more thought-provoking themes, and they tend to speak to people. So we already have the first NFT sale from the gallery, and it is Blind Chimp, and he did like the B for Blind Chimp, like V for Vendetta themed. It was actually really cool, and it's in my gallery, but he made it for my gallery, and someone bought it because they liked it. So like, I can't promise that your stuff is going to sell. I am going to have it available. Like, you can have watch parties if you want, like your own, like after opening weekend. It's free to public. Like, you can just log in, go to the dashboard, and you can go to any of the previous ones and, you know, show people around, whatever you want to do. Make it a YouTube video, do reviews. Like, I would be delighted, because like, if you're going to your, like, sure, you're going to go to your own art, but you're going to walk past other people's art and, you know, probably say nice things about their art too. And then it's just a nice like how do we promote each other, like cross promotion, and how do we add utility to each other's projects. And like, a lot of people, like, when we say like collaborations, it's like, it can be a lot of work with like artist to artist, like doing like joint collaborations. But I'm just like, can you just fill out this Google form, give me permissions to use your work, let Zeller and I create the promo films as NFTs and make some profit from it, hopefully. Like, you know, the usual stuff. Like, let me promote you, and then, you know, we'll you know, we're just gonna all put in our honest effort. But like, you know, Jennifer, I was really glad to ask you, because you have your Motivate You, it's a SaaS thing, but it's also for health. And so I asked you to be a shopfront this time. And I was going to say, like, she has this thing where she doesn't actually see anything when she closes her eyes. Like, she can't picture things in her head, which is really fascinating. But she's been able to use, like, Dolly to create some works for me in the past, which I am super grateful for. But I'm just really, like, we've known each other for such a long, it feels like such a long time, like a couple of years at this point. I feel like a year and a half. But, like, it's been really special that, like, I'm able to, like, you know, promote you in the way that I can.
Like, I know with the whole thing, you can't see things when you close your eyes, because I can't as well. I thought it was normal. I was like, oh, how do people actually? I didn't know that was a thing. People saw things when they, like, envisioned it. Like, let's say if you imagine a apple, I will not see that blank line. Like, it is cut. Right? But I thought it was normal, because, come on, it's like, cause that's how it's been, like, for me from day one.
never been able to do it. But then you kind of can be like after times of like looking back at the past, kind of get my things get I kind of I put myself under the spellbound at a certain point. But obviously now, like, you're ready to see it, but you still can't, because everyone has different ways of seeing stuff. You get clear you are, because some people clear audient, they clear sentient, they clear people have people clear. Sentient, you kind of see black, I'm not gonna lie. Apple where you can't see it.
I don't know if it was just me, but we were cutting in and out, so I didn't catch all of it, but it's something like 5% of the population only has this thing where when you close your eyes, you don't actually picture stuff, and I honestly had no idea. I thought everybody was like that until I was on Twitter and somebody posted something, and I'm like, what? That's like not just everyone. I also don't hear words when I read, but I also have a reading speed of almost 1,000 words per minute, so I guess I wouldn't have time to do it anyway. So while there's some like negative things, there's some positive things, I guess, that I can read better and faster rather. And my reading comprehension, even at my high speed, is over 90%. So trade-offs, I guess.
It's a trade-off, because I know how the reading speed thing. Like that's why I feel like people that read terms. It's such a long document. It's kind of fun to like.
Sorry, my laptop is making noises.
It's time consuming.
So I'm gonna. Turn on the fan.
What we learned how to do, we learned how to automatically write, like automatic writing. So you can literally put get a pen, get a grip. But you have to get a pen with a nib. Like it could be a bucket nib.
Okay, merchants. Your connection is super bad. Is it normally like this, or is it you just having an off night?
I don't know, because I know because like right now, like I know what because of like nothing. Because when I went to shop here, like it is a thing of like the guy like obviously my card like the card is like when, but normally it doesn't do that. And then I get full like literally the second is the kind thing. I can see like you know like a call from random number. And then like
It's really bad. I can't stop blinking because my head is like not able to process. I don't know if anybody. It's like every 3 words I can hear a little bit, and then every 10 words it's like really loud. And I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I was hoping that's what Robert's thumbs down was, and not me being rude about being like, is this a normal thing for your phone to do? But maybe Twitter is just being a jerk to you tonight, Merchant. Like, we are trying super hard. It's just, do we let you talk and then none of us understand? But,
I know what they're playing because obviously they're making things not going to work for us, but gonna make your life hard. That was what the call was, and it's like we can see you at like your card declined. It was because of us. We can cut off your back or something like that. That's basically what happened.
yeah, Elon Musk is big mad that he had to buy Twitter. So he's going to ruin it. He's like, within 2 months, it's going to be gone.
Because I tried to shit about him back in the day.
So, Jen, did you pick out a date that you're going to do LinkedIn? Like the events?
Yeah, Friday at 4. I don't know if we're going to actually talk about anything or we're just going to test it, but it'll be interesting. I think it'd be good if you do the streaming stuff, just because it's like, maybe, people are always talking about opening up past, Twitter, and I really do like how relaxed Twitter is, but I don't know, it could be, hopefully it'll end up being one of those things where it's like we would have never tried it if we weren't forced to, and it turns out to be something useful.
Yeah, I should probably do something like a tech perspective on doing a startup or something dumb like that. I really just want to start networking, and like, I don't even want a job. I just want any of my side projects to take off and I can just live off of doing my own stuff.
Are you on LinkedIn?
I mean, I have an account. Does that count?
Okay, you need to connect with me. I've been like pulling people over from Twitter even before Elon, just because more of my like business clients are over there, and so I need to be on LinkedIn, but I hate my timeline, so I tried getting more Twitter people on there, like the tech and startup people, to make my timeline better. So I've been like connecting with those people for probably about a year now, pulling them over. So it might help if you connect to me and you can see like all the, like you'll be able to pull up my followers and see all the people that you know from Twitter. It's a little bit hard at first because you're like, wait, what are your, like, some people don't have their real name, right? And then people change their photos and it drives you crazy, but it's at least a little bit more helpful if you have that like common connection, because you're like, well, I think that's that person and they're connected to Jen, so it's probably the person I'm thinking it is.
I didn't realize that we weren't even connected. What am I doing with my life? Oh my gosh. We are within 5 degrees of separation, but, like, damn. Like, I super thought that we were following each other because that's how you use LinkedIn, except, my LinkedIn is like, I log in, there's 90 notifications, and I just turn it back off, honestly. It's like...
I know, I'm getting over 100 a day now, like, every, 12 hours or so, because I'll force myself to check it twice a day. But it's BS, because it's like, with Twitter, they don't give you a notification on everything you should. Like, people will literally reply to my comments or at me, and I'll never, ever see it. And then I'll go to, another, one of my sub handles, and I'll see it that way, and I'm like, shit, if I didn't see it, that would have been so rude. And I'm like, but then what ones am I not seeing on there either, right? Probably a ton. And I used to have time to, when I first came on and I didn't have any followers, I'd have time to, double check, and now it's like, forget it. But LinkedIn's the opposite. They're like, oh, did you want to know that this person that you connected to 2 weeks ago liked something on somebody's page, and here's this article that we wrote, you should really read this. And it's all this crap that's nonsense. So 10% of your notifications on LinkedIn are actually something you want to look at.
Yeah, so that's the opposite of what I want to happen. It must have been late in August. Art Meta X was the only person that showed up to my curated walkthrough, and instead of going through my art gallery, we literally just went onto my LinkedIn, and he told me like which art accounts and which NFT accounts to follow, and he was like, make articles, do your blog, and make these connections because these people are more likely to actually buy art. But and I mean, like, I know that my, like, the audience I want to bring into banned books art is not NFT artists. Like, I need to look outward into other groups of people that, you know, really care about censorship and are, like, maybe not as familiar with Web3 but do want to, you know, have new experiences, and those are the people that I should be trying to onboard. But oh my god, Twitter Spaces are so much easier. I'm just saying.
Okay, I sent you a connection request.
Yeah, I mean, I sent you a follow thing, so maybe you just need to accept, or...
So following is not the same as connecting. It's weird. It's like connecting means that we both agree to be connected, and followings could be like one way. But yeah, if I actually know somebody, I connect with them.
Okay.
You can't send DMs unless you're connected.
Oh.
Well, you can pay to send DMs if you're not connected, but if you're connected, you can send DMs for free.
Oh my gosh. I know some of these people, but what's going on? What, like, it's not in my notifications. Maybe it'll be there later. I don't know. But we will be connected on LinkedIn. It's not one of those things where I'm like, we are definitely going to connect, and then like 3 months later I actually send like the request. But yeah, we can
Yeah, it says pending, so hopefully it went through. But their app is super glitchy all the time, so we'll see.
Robert, do you use any other social media platforms for your art?
Just TikTok, and I started using Facebook, and I stopped. But yeah, just TikTok and Twitter right now.
For a little bit, I was trying to use TikTok, but I kept doing very low quality TikToks that didn't really have anything to do with banned books art. And like now I have the ones from Zeller, but that's only like once a month. So we're going to have to like actually get the audio off of headliner.ai and make TikTok videos with, you know, people's explanation of their art and get like promotion. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, TikTok's pretty cool, but I didn't get a lot of traction on my videos. I think because what I talk about, psychedelics and stuff like that, and I probably got shadow banned, so I don't know if it's me or just TikTok sometimes don't like what people post.
Yeah, I mean, that could be it. That's definitely a possibility. I always was kind of jealous, like, man, artists can have TikToks because they can just do like their methods, like actually just like people love watching people build things. It's very cathartic. So like as a programmer, I'm like, you're gonna see lines of code. It's not cathartic. It's like, it's really like not the same as like watching someone like draw in. Like I've watched those YouTube videos where it's like story time. Like they record themselves like making a drawing, and then they record over with like crazy stories from their life. And I'm like, why was reality TV that dramatic? Because I'm literally basically watching like paint dry and listening to this person's story, and I'm entertained. Like, so yeah, I've always been a little bit jealous of like art, like traditional artists, and being like, oh my gosh, I mean, I know it's difficult, but like people want to see that type of stuff, and it's kind of like, I don't know, like endangered species um, charities that some of them use like pandas, and like of course you're using pandas because they're like the cute ones, and like how do you get people to care about like this like off-brand cockroach thing that's gross? Like nobody wants to give money to the gross cockroach. Like, so it's the same thing, but with like, what am I going to make content for? I'm a programmer. It's code. Like, there's nothing relaxing about this. So, I'm just saying that I've had jealousy in the past of like artists and content creators like that.
What I do, I just record my image, go around it a couple times, and just move the camera different ways, and then I narrate it with the automatic. When you type, it'll start talking for you. So I use their voice because my voice not that good, and I think it's pretty cool, but nobody pays a lot of attention. And also, I'm like a year on TikTok, but I'm just trying to see if people understand, because I make little stories about what my visions are and everything, but yeah, it's kind of hard to get an audience, and that's why I'm here because I actually discovered Spaces through TikTok, because somebody was talking about Spaces, and that's why I'm here trying to see how it goes, if I can connect with more people. But yeah, it's pretty cool. If you can use a narration tool, that way you don't have to talk, and then make the computer talk. It's pretty funny ones there too. I don't know if you tried them.
I'm also like, because when I'm washing dishes, like I want to listen to something, but I don't want to listen to a podcast. So like YouTube keeps telling me, or at least recommending, like basically these people just talk about Reddit posts. Like they read out the Reddit posts and they read out some of the comments and then give their opinion, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Amy, you should do this, but for like computer programming stuff, and still nobody is going to listen to you. But like, it doesn't have to be that difficult. It's literally just like people talking about content that is literally on Reddit, and they have 1 million views because they do it every day, and it's like trashy TikTok, like really like relationship things that people are interested in. So I was thinking about doing that, just like, okay, not like I'm actually gonna do it, but it would be like, if I had bandwidth, it would be cool if I could go onto like our computer science, or like the programming newbie things, and just like read out the questions and be like, well, here's my opinion about what you should be doing, or like, wow, this person's advice is super bad, or like, how do I get into this? And then it's like the same topic over and over again, but like, it's like anything else. Like when you're at the very beginning, you don't want to learn the wrong thing, and you don't want to waste your time learning something that it's going to be a waste at the end. So like, I understand why everybody just like they ignore all of the old advice, because like, what if it's outdated, and then I'm learning this thing, and then like that programming language is dead and there's no more jobs around it. Like, I mean, I know that like there's still COBOL jobs. Like there's literally not a thing. Like there's like 2 literally dead languages out there for computer language, but it's like, I'm sorry for giving this lecture right now. This is not the space. But, like, when you're new, you don't know. And it's like analysis paralysis, where it's just like as an artist, like, should I go into digital art? Should I be using crayons? Like, what is, like, if I use the wrong medium, I'm going to be stuck making sculptures, and I won't be able to do AI art. And, like, I don't know if it's exactly like that, but like, you spend time like mastering your craft, and then it's like if you don't even know like what the material is or what it's called or how it's made, it's very opaque, and people, it's kind of like, I'm jumping around here, but like you always hear like people like to buy Starbucks because they know what they're pretty much going to get, right? Like you pay the overpriced thing for $5 and you get a coffee that tastes good, or like okay, it's consumable. Okay, it's consumable beverage at this point. That's what we're going for. But they pay it because they know what it is and they can quantify like, what did I get my money's worth out of this? And you know, when you say like, oh, this course is the same, or like this piece of artwork is the same as a cup of Starbucks, and it's like, okay, but like, what is the value of this training? And it's harder for people to gauge, and it takes their time, and so they just don't want to do it. So yeah, people are very bad at like estimating things that they don't have any thing about. Anyway, merchant.
It's all about stream because at the end of the day, Starbucks is a bank. You cannot bank.
I can't hear you. You still are like breaking up. Sorry.
Do you need to leave and come back, merchant? Like restart your phone?
Wait, can you hear me now?
No.
Okay, cool.
Oh, there he goes. Hopefully he'll back. But yeah, you should try making at least one TikTok. See how it goes with your little project. I know you're really busy, but I mean, you can maybe try.
Yeah, I'm hoping that with it going quarterly that I'll actually have time. Like, first of all, the thing will be made, like the metaverse. It's hard to like talk about things that don't exist yet, especially like making videos about it. So if we could like, and then have like these minting parties and highlight like specific artists that are inside of the gallery, and like do giveaways or whatever else is happening, like I'm okay with this. Like we'll experiment more next year. I just want to get through this year for the most part. And yeah, I'm trying. I have like an Instagram, I have Pinterest. I mean, I don't use any of them, but they exist, so there's that.
Yeah, I have Pinterest too, and I was asking somebody about this the other day because I was like, I haven't been on there in like 10, 15 years. And it used to be like you saw things you liked, like crafts or something, or like an idea of something you wanted to do, like again, like crafts or like, you know, and then you would pin it to your board as like a reminder, kind of like a visual bookmark. So I'm like, how do companies use it now? I'm just so confused.
I was just putting like my promotional material up there, and if people like you, because when you click into it, there's information. So it was just like, here's my promo, and buy my shit. Thanks. Or
so instead of like having a board of stuff you like if I add stuff I like and my stuff, like is it like Instagram, but you also pin? You could still pin other people's stuff. Has it just turned into Instagram basically? Like I'm trying to.
I don't know how to use it effectively.
But like, if I go to your board, do I only see things you put up, or if you liked somebody else's thing and pinned it to your board, then I'm assuming I'd also see that random thing on your board, right?
This is a good question, Jennifer.
I'm glad you're as confused as me. But that's why I haven't tried, because like people are like what else is something I hadn't made an account a really, really long time ago? Snapchat. And then people are like, oh, they're using it for business. I'm like, what the f do you mean you're using it for business? People used to use it to sell drugs. Like, how is this for
If,
I'm so confused.
Yeah, if you're
But
on
I
my
guess
profile,
I could use that too.
yeah, if you're on my profile, I'm assuming you just see like my virtual art gallery and then all of my pins, which are basically just like my YouTube videos at this point. So, wow, I haven't done this since the Grimm's Fairy was.
Okay, so you're pinning just your stuff because like back
Yeah.
like in the, like when I first started using it, I never made boards. I just pinned other people's boards to my board.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like I guess like the retweet of
Okay.
you know, but in a picture form.
Yeah, so basically I have my like I have like a board. I don't know what they're called, but it shows my board, but then it has all pins. So I guess it would just show like all of my random pins as a like if I go in there. I don't know. I know that I came in here and the first thing I saw is fluff you fluff and fluff, and it's just like a cat flipping everybody off, piece of artwork, and I'm big mad. I like no like the name of this from Etsy is called Big Mad Cat. So yes, I don't use Pinterest, but Pinterest knows me very well that is an amazing piece of art, and yeah, somehow they knew that. Okay, I'm adding Merchant back. I just saw him come back, so hopefully we can hear him now. Welcome back. Can you hear us? Not really.
Yeah, because it's a it's just one of those ones who get a warning. I'm like, well, how am I leaving the space and then someone's calling like literally the same unknown caller? It's like saying that's your fifth warning, like for today. I'm like, what? It's kind of like, you know, like obviously I'm not meant to say stuff in it, like so that's what I kind of have to be very careful of how I say things and give certain things into what is happening. Cool. Right now.
I feel like my head's in a fishbowl, but it also sounds maybe like you're walking and your phone's in your pocket. So I don't know if any of those things are true, but there's definitely it like goes from being far away to very, very far away to sounding like it's like smothered under a pillow.
Yeah, it's just a thing of like they're like, okay, cool, we're going to make your life hard. Like we're going to make like that was and the call. I was like, okay, cool, try. But obviously I need to like put what's up and then like and get a different internet. But I'm not going to disclose what I'm going to do.
You should
even
probably go to bed. I mean, it's like super late for you. It's like 2 in the morning, right?
Yeah, but obviously normally I'm on spaces at this time anyway, so it's not even that deep. Like, it's not about time. It's just about what I've done. And it's pissed off a lot of people. Like, and because a lot of people want to buy said pin tweet, but I'm not selling. And they're like, okay, cool. If you're not going to sell to us, we're going to like obviously put the accounts, like bank accounts and stuff. Like, oh, if you can't do it. And it's been done. It's just a thing of like, that's why I'm very careful in this account what I say and what I do, because I don't want to get another banned account. Like, because this is wrong. So like, I do want to get another bank account. You know, I'm not thinking to you, but I do want to get another bank account. Completely point. Yeah, but it is what it is at the end of the day, and we do adhere to the clientele. You shouldn't.
like that's why like I put my like prices up so high, because if you really want the spells or enchantments, you buy the whole collection and you can get. But I wouldn't sell it, but I just want the request for said candy.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their own way that they play their game on here. Um, like, are we selling things super low so that we have a lot of volume going through? Are we pricing things medium so that they, have a medium amount of sales? Or do you price things very high and that way you have, like, the boom and bust of, making a lot at one time? And yeah, if something has a lot of sentimental value and you don't really want to part with it, then yeah, give out a high price. All of my stuff is pretty cheap because it's AI art. I only had to put in some words, and I'm not like other AI artists. Not in like that sense, just like in the sense of like I don't touch it up in any other programs because I don't have those skills. So, like, if it has a janky eye, it has a janky eye. If it has too many fingers, then you're just going to have to believe it's on purpose. So that's why my stuff is cheap, and I try to choose things that have the correct amount of fingers and like eyes that aren't too bad, but like it's AI, so. And I don't even run it through other programs that can fix those things. So we're going to focus on the metaverse. And I don't know where I was going with that, merchants. First of all, getting tired. Second of all, now that we're talking about it, I am uploading a YouTube video because I've been lazy and I need to do this anyways. Third of all, I was actually supposed to be a part of the supercluster launch, but a few things happened. One, they were super late in getting all of their stuff deployed today. I was at a conference for most of the day, and they only did it at like 7 p.m. right before this space. So, and also last thing, I could put my NFT up in a collection for them, but when I went to go mint it, instead of it being like $1, it was like $15, and I don't have any money on that account. So these are all issues that I have with Supercluster right now. So there's that. But I guess you can say that that is a successful partnership, I guess. It's a middling partnership, honestly. But once they get like properly launched and have more than just Ethereum, we can see how they are. So yeah, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, y'all. This is a very long-winded that I think we're all just gonna have to do our last thoughts, and I'm gonna have to get off the phone so that I can put more things onto Supercluster and do the social media stuff that I'm supposed to be doing. So, Robert, do you have any last thoughts on this space before I close it?
No, I don't think so. I'm just trying to learn as much as I can and be in these spaces, listen to you guys talk about interesting stuff. But yeah, thank you for having me and having my artwork in your metaverse is pretty cool.
It was my pleasure, Robert. Like, anytime, I will showcase whatever you want me to. I enjoy being able to promote artists and try in my own small little way to be a good member of the community. So, yeah, thank you so much for participating this time. It was absolutely a pleasure. It's definitely time to end the space. I'm having trouble pronouncing things, enunciating. So, merchants, any last thoughts?
Nothing really, but like, I don't know. But I'm just saying, depends on how said meeting goes today, because we've been called to a meeting. Because of the last two. But obviously, depending on how that goes, we'll see if I need to see man creation in the art gallery at least. They didn't give me that at least. But it's a bit of madness, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, first of all, you should submit some stuff under the Alice in Wonderland theme. It's all a bit of madness. So, it's been a pleasure working with you, merchants, and hopefully we will get your art in my metaverse again. Jennifer, how are you? Well, I was just about to ask you, how are you?
I was going to ask you a pricing question, but I don't want to keep you up any longer, so I'll just ask you another time.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
So, I asked some of our power users, like, how much they would be willing to pay for the app, and, like, one of our investors put a price that was so low that after Apple took its cut, and if we had instead kept that person, say, on the free plan with ads, we would basically make double. So they put a price that was just, like, silly. And we're pricing it as, like, a consumer app anyway, which we, like, put it in line with other similar apps. Not even, like, a business app, even though it's mostly people are using it for business purposes. So it felt like it was already low. But I just said, like, oh, thank you, you know, for your, like, thoughts on where the pricing would be. But now I'm wondering, like, should I say anything, like, especially because it is an investor, like, hey, this is why the pricing is this much, because, you know, Apple takes this cut, we can make this much for advertising with the free version, and more importantly, like, here's what other apps are charging in the space, and, like, business apps in the space are charging, like, this much, so if we charge too little, or do you think I should just not say anything and just let it go?
I feel like a lot of people give opinions without doing their research before that.
Well, I was also thinking, like, too, when I was sending it, I was like, I told people, I was like, listen, we're not going to make it higher if people say higher. We just want to, so I feel like people might have been like, well, if I say I'm going to pay too much, she's going to make it, like, really expensive.
Yeah, so, I mean,
that's just people's natural psychology.
Off the cuff, I would actually do the freemium model of, like, here's a bunch of annoying ads, and if you don't want the annoying ads, you can pay us $16 and just...
So we have ads. If you get rid of the ads and you have, like, unlimited links and, like, keys, it's $5.99, which is not a lot. If you get all these extra features, which is, like, folders and analytics and like iCloud sync, it's $8.99. That's nothing. That's still, like, nothing. People are charging $50 a month for, like, Twitter things that, like, you can get, like, pre-filled templates for Twitter, $50 a month. People are paying for it. So I'm like, how is that a lot? But this person was like $2 to $4, and I'm like, that doesn't even make sense because I can get $3 to $5 for ads. So why would I make it $2 to $4? But I was like, where does that number even come from? Like, has anybody been in the App Store lately? I don't know. I was just like, so do I even explain it, or that number is just so off that it's like, don't even bother.
Like, well, first of all, I don't pay for apps. I just go to all the free apps and have, like, a hodgepodge. Like, I am the worst person to ask about.
Well, our app is free. I'm just saying, like, do you think it makes sense for me to explain to him where our pricing came from, or should I just like not worry about it? Like, he's using so many, he's gonna have to upgrade, or he's gonna lose like all his pages. He had like 50
No,
keys on there,
it's
and you only
fine.
get 12 with the free
Yeah,
version. So
just be like, it's worth
kind of weird.
it's worth $9. Is it $9 a month or is it $9?
No, it's $6 or $5.99 a month for the middle version, and then it's like the top version $8.99 a month. But again, like font keyboards are charging that much. Fonts, like where you just get a different font. So
Yeah,
I'm just
price
like,
yourself at the market and be like, look, I mean, just do it without telling
and
him.
He hasn't said anything back. He hasn't said anything negative back. I just don't want him to be like, oh, did you not think my advice was good or something? Or I might just be overthinking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, like, if he asks or like is awkward, then you can give him, you can not punch back, but like push back. But like,
he's very nice. Yeah, he definitely wouldn't say. I don't think he would say anything. So I should probably just like not worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to, if you like feel guilty, you can be like, hey, like I did a little bit of research and like this is market rate, so hopefully.
Yeah, we did all the research before. I was just very curious to see like what people's. I kind of like was like, we're not going to change this number no matter what. In a way, like it would have had to be like everybody was like no, but I was curious to see like what people's natural reactions were. It was the only one that was really low, but he's very supportive, and I was just like, maybe it just makes sense for him to understand where it's coming from, or maybe it doesn't even matter. That's kind of my thing. But when you were talking about like explaining why you charge X amount for yours, it seems like people do like to talk about like and think about the why behind the pricing. So like maybe I should tell him, because I've already been thinking of telling him, and he's just like a very nice supportive person. It would probably be helpful for him too to know like what goes into that. And like I think people sometimes forget that Apple takes 30%.
Yeah, because most people that haven't made the app don't know that Apple take a percentage of like subscriptions. They take, even if you're doing subscriptions, they take a percentage as well. Because even like it's a business model at the end of the day, and you want them to make as much money as possible, because it said Apple is capitalistic and they are running out of silicon, so they need to be actually. Have you not noticed what the business model of Apple has changed in this 1 year? Because of said silicon is out of stock. So instead of like only promoting like the sales of the iPhone, they have promoted the sales of the subscription models of the Apple One. So, if you're looking at that standpoint, so that means the subscription model is meant to be. So then, like, let's say you're making an app, and Apple, like, obviously work costs, like, work to make the app, it will cost a lot. So you kind of have to maintain that lifestyle. So how do you do it? You'll do it by subscription. So if your subscription price has to be enough to maintain the lifestyle.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, it's not even about that. Like, it's an investor, right? Like, and this app is under the umbrella of the company, so it's like, you should want us to be profitable, but if we can make more in ads. But people are ridiculous, because another investor who also has his own startup was like, oh, the ad's like in the way and I keep hitting it by accident. I'm like, yeah, well, we get paid per click, so I'm fine with that, but there's one ad and it's not on the keyboard, it's only on the app screen. Are you kidding? Like, what do you want me to do? Give it to you away completely for free, like with no ads? And like, people are really funny. It's like funny when people, even investors and people who have their own startups, when they're in the consumer seat, they sometimes like forget like what it's like to be on the other side. It's just really interesting to me, the psychology behind that, like how they.
I know. It's mad. Like, because I know. Just go on the app in W1. Go on that W1 D1, and you'll see how that app performs on your phone. It's not a like
on the app, yeah, you can do stuff for free. You are capped at a certain point when you want to actually create value for yourself. That is the key. Instead of being ads, you cap them. You cap the content. Instead, in ads, because people, like, normally see ads as cheap. Like, if you have ads in the app, that means you cannot make any of this. That's what it means as a business. Like an investment, that's what I will see. I'll see if you have ads in like app in this day and age, you cannot spend anything on business. So that's why you need apps and investment via ads. So cool. So if you do app with no ads, but certain features are blocked until you pay the subscription, so it will convert much better because you have people that are investing in the app because they like how it feels because there's no ads. So then, cool. After they invest, because like, okay, like let me give Discord as an example. Okay, and on Discord, you can like edit your pictures, you can edit your videos, but when you want to make it to one function, you need to get the subscription for the one function. You know, so you already edited your videos, like you put your filters, you've done everything, you made it look nice, isn't it? So then you're like, okay, let me go export this item into my camera roll. They're like, no, you cannot do that. You have to buy the subscription. Then you can export. And then that's the way the sale is done. Because
yeah, no, we built that stuff in too. This is just, we didn't have the paid version yet. It's not like I'm trying to convince this person to get the paid version and they didn't get the paid version. That's not the case. I'm like 99.9% sure he's going to convert over because he's got the way he's got it set up, it won't really work if he doesn't. But it was just like asking somebody, you know, and yeah, so it's just like the Google ad, like the ads we get all of them like that percent. So you just have to like weigh out. Obviously, you don't want to make the paid version with more features cheaper, like for the company than it is for the ad version. So it's just an interesting psychology, I think, with people. Like it's kind of like what Amy's saying, like with the coffee and the thing, you know, like this person's like using it all the time, but like it's something that he's just wasted time with, like hours every week he just wastes if he doesn't use this. And so it's hard to like sometimes people have a hard time at quantifying what their time is worth. So I don't know. But yeah, Amy, I gotta let you go to bed because now we went down the rabbit hole. This was what I was afraid of.
Well, no, but now Pixie's back, and so we're gonna invite her back to speak, and then we're gonna be here for another half an hour, and then I'm gonna be like, oh no, I'm gonna be late for my conference again tomorrow. Which, by the way, I was 15 minutes late to it this morning. It's a video conference, but they had technical issues until 45 minutes into the conference, so it's not like I missed anything. And I also, like, recorded it, like, because last year I actually, like, did a recap of it, and it was really popular on my technical YouTube channel, but, like, holy poop, I have so much to do. I can't. But next is really cool. It is my preferred framework that I use to make my website. And while we were sitting here, I swapped where your art is, Pixie, and I like where it is now much better. The vibe is better. It's hard, it's very difficult to express to people how art is placed in my gallery, but it's literally just like you get to know people's artwork, and then like I have to look at it and look at what I've created and just like put them in the correct spots. And yeah, this is cool because like the piece I put there, yeah, it's kind of, I've never seen Stranger Things, but it makes me think Stranger Things. Just like people staring at you, and it's weird. So that's probably better than you being greeted by like a pig with a machine gun. Wait until you get to the back of the building, and then let it be a shakedown. You know, the usual.
So we're not going to do another 30 minutes. I'm currently in the bathtub now, but I'm just listening, and I'm glad that you were able to rearrange pieces, because being the curator of your own world, that you can place things in a thought-provoking but not shock and awe. So if you lead with a gun-toting pig, it might be a little too off-putting. I don't know.
I mean, there's only one other piece of art that I need to change out, and I put in my gallery all of these Twitter spaces that I have for artists, but by the time the gallery opens, there's only one more Twitter space to do. So I'm going to change it out to the gallery, like, guided walkthrough times, and just have, because, like, it's convenient that it's a shop window, so I just have a poster in there. And I also I'm going to have, I have, like, the Christmas gallery as an advertisement, and, so yeah, there's only a few things left to do, but they're very doable to do tomorrow, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know what happened this month. Well, I do know what happened. I tried to tile the floor for Utopia, like the Utopia room, and it wound up being like almost 400 pieces of tile, and then I messed up like the naming convention, so I had to go through like manually and fix like the images, and it took forever. And then Zeller was like, this is crashing all the time, and I was like, yeah, like, it's kind of weird, like, it's been kind of flaky for me too. But then I was like, how about we don't have 1,000 images to have it load, and we only have like 200, and now it's been behaving. and so like, I had to rip up the entire floor this week, so like it took a long time, and then it was wasted effort, and it put me behind schedule, and now I know better. Like, don't have 1,000 pieces of artwork in this gallery. It's not going to load.
That little story is like a perfect like short for YouTube, like a YouTube short, just explaining that, because loading in general with web pages is something like so many people experience, like on the consumer side or like the builder side. So tape that. Just talk to the camera and tape that. That was perfect.
Okay. Yeah, because when people are like, how long does it take you to make these galleries? And I'm like, literally 4 weeks. Like, I finish the gallery I'm doing, I rest on Sunday, and I just slog on until the next gallery opening. And it's difficult, especially when, like, I had to go to a funeral last week, and I'm like, well, shit, like, I don't have 2 days now, basically. And then it's like, I don't want to be stressed because a family member died. Like, it's, like, not their, like, it's hard to describe, but, like, sorry their death inconvenienced you, Amy, basically. Like, it happened. She was 97. Like, it wasn't that surprising, but, you know, she was a cool lady, and I was really happy to, which, none of you need to hear this story again, but I'm very happy to tell it. But, so it was in New York, and we got off at the right railway station, and my mom gave me directions, and it was a 20-minute walk, and it was like 70 degrees outside. I was like, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. Let's just walk to the funeral. And then we got to where my GPS said was the cemetery was, and she was like, Well, first of all, it was the cemetery that my mom's father is in, so we went and visited her father, and then she gave me a different address because obviously we weren't there, so it was like another 20 minutes, and I was like, it's fine, my shoes are uncomfortable, but it's like I'll make it. And then she gave we walked past it, and it was also not the cemetery address, and it was another hour from that point that we walked. And then we got to the cemetery, and it was very close to the funeral time, and there was no entrance right there, so we wound up having to climb over a wall to get into the cemetery so that we could walk to where the building, like there's a central building. So like I was like, Mom, I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna die on the walk to my great aunt funeral. And so like she ran ahead, and she asked my aunt if she could like rescue me, but like they just got to talking, so like I just like got myself the whole way there, but I was just like, I'm never walking again. And instead of being sad about my aunt, all I want to do is talk about how my mom made me scale a wall to get to a funeral, and my mom's like, is this trespassing? I'm like, well, we're supposed to be here. It's just not, probably that's not an entrance. So
Did you find out the entrance as you were leaving?
well, I mean, they're definitely expecting people to be driving. Let's just put it that way. It was like catty corner to where we were going. I mean, like, I'm not gonna walk an extra 20 minutes at this point to get to an actual entrance into the cemetery. We're gonna climb this fucking wall, not injure ourselves in any way, plop down on the other side, like straighten out our dresses and be like, yes, that's definitely a thing that we meant to do. Let's get onto a sidewalk and act like everything is normal.
Well, to be honest, if you guys don't climb a fence to get to my funeral, what kind of funeral are we having?
I mean, okay, so we were walking to the funeral, and my mom looks over at a thing in the fence, and she's like, oh, that's super cool. And I was like, is this like a memorial? And I walk closer, I'm like, is this a cursed object? And it was actually a tree branch that had been like grew into the fence, and they had cut down the tree, so there's just like a section of this tree branch still in the fence, and it is super cool. But I was like, this is definitely a cursed object. And then like 2 minutes later, my mom was like, hey, maybe we should run across this 4-lane highway to get onto the other side that also doesn't have a sidewalk. And I was like, Mom, no. The cemetery is on this side of the street, and I'm not running across a highway. Like, I don't want to die on the way to this funeral. Like, this is like my number one goal right now.
Yeah, so not a funeral story, so not as like painful, but I was visiting my friend in the city, and I took the bus in instead of the train, forgetting that like the bus was like an extra like 20 blocks from where the train would let off. So I estimated like how long my walk was, which was, and like 21 blocks instead of 1. And I wore heels, and they kept getting caught in the grate of the like the grates of the whatever those things are. They're not sewers, but they're like everywhere in New York City. And I was trying to meet my friend like right when she got out of work, and of course I'm like running, and I ended up with like blood blisters by the time I got there, and then I had to walk all the way back. So that was fun. And yeah, I could have taken a cab, but I was like, no. I was one of those stubborn people too. I'm like, I'm walking back. Like,
It's
I don't
probably
know why, but
before a smartphone too, because I would have been like, why don't you just go to a shoe store and be like, sorry, I have to buy these sneakers now. We will be cute later.
yeah, I didn't really think. I was just like, I'm getting there, and then I was like, now because we had dinner so late, now I've got to get back, and the train has a train like out at 2 a.m. Well, there's a 1 a.m. train. If you take the 2 a.m. train, you have to first go to Hoboken, which is hell. But I couldn't even take the train because I had already paid for the bus. So I was like, I got to get back to the bus, and the bus leaves at like midnight. So I had to like book it. So instead of being like, oh, I could just, like you said, buy different shoes and then sit in a cab or just get a cab. I don't know why. I was just like, I just gotta like go as fast as I can, which, yeah, it was just one of those really stupid things. But then, of course, I had a little to drink, so like my ankles are turning over, and you know, my feet were very angry at me for a good couple of weeks after that.
Yeah, well, now that we're sharing war stories, this one, I wound up in a police car. So, when I lived in China, I lived in Bao'an, which is an hour outside of Shenzhen. And normally the drivers, I would just go and be like, hey, can you drive me into the city? Because, like, they had, like, 5 drivers that were hired, and they're just full-time drivers for the school. But then the principal was like, no, you have to take the bus. So I took it to Shenzhen, no problem. But on the way back, I accidentally got off a stop early. And so, like, I knew I was in the city that I was supposed to be in, but I was turned around. I didn't know how to get back to the school. So I went into, like, a souvenir shop. Like, I don't know how to describe this, but there's a lot of stationery stores in China where, like, people buy trinkets and shit. And, like, I had been warned that there were, like, a lot of shutdowns in the area, but, like, I didn't really go shopping all that much, so I wasn't that worried. But, like, I just, like, stood around pretending to shop, and, like, as soon as I started walking up to ask the shopkeeper, like, where the fuck I was, like, 20 police officers came in and raided the shop, and I was like, no. I'm going to get arrested just for being here. So then I walked up to a police officer, and I was like, where am I? And he's like, he opened up his mouth to give me directions, and then he was like, no. And so he wound up just giving me a ride back to the school. So, yeah.
That's a good ending. I thought you were gonna be like, he's like, no, you're gonna sit here while we interrogate you and everybody else, and they're like, oh, and then he gave me a ride. I'm like, oh, that was a good ending.
It was just one of those things where, like, it's really hard being an international person, but it's also stressful for, like, people that are around you. Like, I had a lot of empathy. I just didn't want to go to jail, honestly, but it was really funny afterwards because the teachers were like, why were you in a police car? And I was like, you probably don't want to know. But, yeah. So, I was gonna ask, so no, we're not going to go there. I was gonna ask you, because Jen asked me about pricing. I was like, she's getting into NFTs. I'm super excited about it. But it wound up being your Keylink question, which, first of all, I need to make sure that my affiliate link is the link that when people click on your building, they go to your Motivate You from that. And then you have that thing where you're volunteering time, and I just, like, ghosted you, and I'm sorry. It just became a thing where I'm very far behind in my tasks, and Stripe just didn't get the attention it needed. Also, Stripe should have just worked, honestly.
Yeah, no, you definitely don't have to apologize for that. I figured you made it do whatever you needed to do at the time or whatever. But
absolutely not. I still don't. My website still doesn't know who is logged in. Like, I have logged in through Auth0, so, like, you have to get logged in. But, like, yeah, it would be really nice if I could basically token gate it the traditional way. But, you know, it won't even matter soon because we're gonna be doing, like, the Web3 type maze stuff where people have to connect their wallets anyway to do some of the features. So, yeah, I'm planning on having just like a lot of I'm gonna have time next year is what I'm putting off everything until next year. And then I'll be like, well, now we're quarterly, so now I have time to like actually sit down and look at Stripe. Except I'm already like filling up all of my free time that I don't have. So I need to stop doing that's a New Year's goal. Just like chill out and not give myself anything else to do. Beyond what everything that I've already said I was going to do next year. So anyway, you all are dear to my heart, and we've been at this for a very long time, and I am super ready to go to bed. So even though after this I'm actually just going to go on Supercluster and see if I can figure it out and it not cost me $1 billion to mint, because like, where am I supposed to get this money from? Everybody's very cavalier about my money. Also, my work sells for like $20. Why am I trying to mint it for $13? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I can mint it, I can have it on OpenSea for free until it goes. I can mint it.
This is my point. Why would I sell it for $2 to $4 when I could make $3 to $5 in ads?
Yeah.
Right? Like, hello, people.
Yeah, and like Foundation app, it's not cost me more than $1 to mint, to put something up for sale. So, you know, if I can do an Ethereum thing on Foundation, it costs me $4 total to mint. Why is it 13? Is it just because Ethereum was higher this afternoon and it would have been $13 on Foundation anyway? But I don't think I would have minted on Foundation if it was $13, because my stuff sells for $20. So, like, I don't mind doing 4 at $4 because that's like 16 and I sell 1, and then that's paid for all of the mints, and the other 3 are profit. But like, like the worst part about all of this Web3 stuff is that everything has a gas fee, and I don't like fees, and it all just seems very expensive. Also,
yeah, no, there's that risk there, right? Because you're paying the gas fee no matter what, even if it doesn't sell.
Yeah, and like, yeah, traditional artists I understand, because like, you know, you're trying to sell it for $1,000, so what's $10 to list it for sale? And if you really believe in your work, then, you know, that $10 is an investment, and it works out. But one thing I was going to say before is that, am I the only person that never trusted the blue check marks? Like, I understand that it's usually people that have been around on Twitter for a long time, or they're famous, but they're not the type of people I want to follow. Like, their follower account is too big. They don't interact with anybody anymore. And if you're not going to interact with me, I don't really give a shit what you have to say.
It's honestly all over the place, because my friend was like on the news. She did like the local news in New Jersey, and so she's got like 100 followers or something on Twitter, because she's never on Twitter. She's like huge on Instagram, but like she's still got a blue check mark. So it's like, you know, she's not even on here, but she gets to keep her check mark. Well, maybe not anymore, but.
And now it just seems like if you have a blue check mark, you just hate money. Like, basically, you've given yourself a bullseye of people that know that you're bad with money.
Well, the fact that, like, they put it out there, they were taking the $8, and then they were like, oh, yeah, it says that the new feature is there, but it's not yet. We're doing this in real time. And the Apple even approved it. Now I'm wondering if for the next rollout they actually do their due diligence, because they're supposed to actually go through the app and make sure it works. And it's like they just raised the price and changed the text, but the text literally said the feature's there. And then just some like person who's been not really calm, she's like something else, but she's like the only one who tweets anymore because the communication team is like gone, was like, oh yeah, no, we're just doing this in real time. And it's like, that's not how it works, honey. You're supposed to put the feature in there before you send it to Apple for review. Like, it's just absurd. And then yeah, it doesn't even do anything. They're not like, no, it doesn't ID verify or anything. They're like, oh no, we're not doing that. So you're literally paying for nothing until they add the feature or that your stuff gets bumped. It's meaningless. Though I have to say, if I do see that it makes a considerable difference for people, I probably will do it for one of my accounts. It's frustrating that it's gotten to that point. But I mean, if everybody else's stuff gets buried, I just don't think that people will stay on Twitter for long then, though, because like they'll just become all advertising in a sense, because the people who will be paying will be the people who are trying to get their messages out there, not so much like just people who are, I don't know, trying to grow or network.
Yeah, I'm almost like, with my big girl account, just like unfollow everyone that has a blue check mark. That way my timeline is still normal people. But that seems like petty. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but like, yeah, I always felt like my perception of the blue check mark was a little bit weird anyways. So I just have mixed feelings about the blue check mark. So, and like I said it before, everybody plays their Twitter game differently. Like, I literally don't give a shit about the big names. Like, they literally don't have the time of day for me, so why would I have the time of day for them? I'd rather hang out with, like, you know, people with like 1,000 to 4,000 followers, who they also follow back for the most part, like you can tell, and you know, we interact with each other and it's all good.
Yeah, I think the original purpose of it, like being the actual government agency or the actual company or like a journalist, made sense, but then it became like, oh, now we're gonna like turn this into a popularity contest and like have these random ideas about whether or not you're considered a public figure. I think that's when it went off. I wasn't on before they made that change, but like just thinking about when that, like hearing people trying to get the check mark and put it, it seems very arbitrary, even with the rules that they had. And it's like, it seemed like then it was more of it became more like whoever's making your decision, they just might not think you're cool enough and so you just won't get it. And so that just to me is BS. Like if they just kept it like, okay, this is the library, you know, or this is like the government office of the city, like those seem to be not bad ones for check marks, because then I know like, oh, there really is a hurricane warning. It's not just some, you know, kid who's on here trying to make a fuss, because now there's been like chaos with those check marks.
Yeah, I heard a rumor that they're actually going to change them to be white check marks or something like that for like officials. But
yeah, some of them say official. They tried rolling that out and it like pops back up occasionally now. It's so weird. It's like not aligned. Like the UI is really weird. The spacing is off. But even if like it was nice where it is, it's like off a little bit. But like, it's very weird. But yeah, and then like if you go into an account that's blue now, if you click on the name, it will tell you if it's a real blue or a paid blue. So it's just so, I don't know, it's just gimmicky now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll stand by what I said before, that the people that have it just really dislike their money, and some people are just more generous with what they'll subscribe to. I have like Midjourney, that's like my splurge, and also Otter.ai because I bought it and or the subscription, and I keep forgetting to unsubscribe, but then I use it and it's convenient, so then I don't get rid of it. The subscription. So basically, I have to stop using Otter.ai and then also remember to unsubscribe from it. And then I will go back to having the one subscription. Yeah. So, yeah, like, I don't. Anyway, we can talk about how cheap I am, or I can go to bed. And I'm going to choose sleep. So, I will, if I remember, try to go to your thing at LinkedIn at 4 p.m. That way we can all, like, do testing together. And it'll be fun.
Yeah, honestly, don't worry about it. But, like, if you're trying to also see, like, how it works because you're thinking of doing it, go for it. But, yeah, don't feel like I honestly haven't even told anybody other than whoever's ever in that room. So,
yeah.
But we might end up then having to come on Twitter and be like, wait, we need to see if we can send it to someone.
Yeah,
I don't even know. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea if it makes a link or if people just have to see it. And I have no idea. I have not looked into it at all. So it's going to be learning, like, on the fly.
Yeah, like, I used to be really good about finding, like, the pitching spaces and, like, founder spaces on Twitter. But, like, I got sucked in super hard for the NFT stuff. And I can't, find those spaces again. Like, it's hard. So
there's not as many. There's like 1/10 of the number of spaces are like startup tech spaces compared to the NFT ones. So they're hard to find for sure.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's the time of the year. Like, are they gonna all start back up again in, like, January when people are doing their New Year's resolutions and then taper off? Or are they just not popular, so people have stopped doing it?
I don't know, because honestly, like, it was pretty slow in summer, and it bumped up in September, and now I feel like I've also been busier, though, so I can't check.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of them are during the day, and I'm like, how are they during the day? I mean, mine's during the day, so I shouldn't say anything. But, like, I can't really do too many during the day. Like, I can't pay attention, so...
Yeah.
It's just surprising to me how many are during the day. There's, like, never any at night, because if I ever ran, like, multiple spaces, I would run at least half of them at night, so it's just interesting to me that so many of them are during the day. And on the weekends, like, there's a lot on Saturday during the day, but not Sunday, so it's just, like, I'll see them, but, like, I can't get into them when I want to, so, like, I bookmark a lot of them, and then I'm not online when they're happening.
Yeah, this makes sense. See, I felt less bad about being in spaces all day when I was with I was working under a boss that made fun of me 2 weeks into me working for him. So I was like, I guess I'll just be in spaces 24/7. This is fine. But then I got changed departments, and then, the company got sold out, and now I'm just like, wow, we're heading into a recession. Maybe I should act like I want to be employed. So I've been...
otherwise things going well with that transition, or?
I think so. I was very slow with tasks because the tech lead was busy, and he never, like, like, when you're so busy, you can't, like, off-task anything. That's how he was. So I was just like, I guess I don't have anything to do, so I'm just gonna sit here and do my metaverse because it's here, and I don't have work to do. And then, but yeah, it's been fine. Our performance reviews are coming up, so I need to figure out what I've actually accomplished in the last 6 months. And then actually come up with goals that aren't just like, I want all of my side projects to take off, and then I can leave this job.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it seems like kind of quick for them to be doing those reviews, but then again, Elon didn't do any, so
Well, that was the thing that we were all revolting on, where it was like, so, okay, first of all, I see your request, Alsan, but I am about to close the space. I'm just rambling, so please come back next time. I started at 8 p.m. Eastern time, which is probably way too early for you. but I appreciate you. I'm gonna follow you, and hopefully we'll wind up in spaces again at the same time. But where was I going with this?
You guys were getting upset about the timing of the.
So yeah, like they bought our company in October. Like it was the end of September.
Yeah.
They announced it. We were employees the first week of October. So I was like, so I was hired the August before, so I missed the yearly raise. So you're gonna tell me that because the company got acquired, that we're going to like start this whole thing over, and I'm not going to be like eligible for a raise again, so it's going to be over 2 years before I get a raise, and like it's not my fault. and so they were like, oh no, like you're just going to do like your same performance review cycle that you would have had at Red Ventures anyway. And I was like, okay, but like
but you missed it though, sort of, right? So it's not the same cycle, or it is?
It's the same cycle.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So I've had a mid-year review, and now I'm having
gotcha.
a like end of the year. But like, does your company wait until April to give people their raises for the end of the year stuff?
My startup?
Yeah.
I usually just give them in December.
Okay. Yeah, because they're starting the review process now, and then they aren't going to give us our raises until April 15th. And I'm like, y'all.
That's tax day. That's so weird.
Yeah.
I wonder if it has to do with taxes somehow, because it is tax day. That's a very interesting day to pick.
Yeah, they were just like, and then we make our decisions and all of the bullshit and all of the cycles.
Is it going to be retroactive if they give you a raise?
No.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
So I'm like, but like you said before, does it really matter if they're paying me $5,000 less now than they were last year? Or I was getting at my last company if I'm, not still there in a year?
Yeah.
We'll see. I might get put on a PIP. Who knows?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much, just because, with all these mass layoffs, it's not like you want to start interviewing right now.
Yeah,
right?
No.
But if you were trying to stay somewhere for a long time, then it does make sense to push harder for your raises, because they're cumulative, and you want to make sure that that number keeps going up, because that certain percentage of that next year would make a difference. But yeah, at this point, it almost gives you more fire to get out.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, I know the economy is shitty, but now is like a good time to build. And the longer I'm here in a stable job getting like my good salary, like the better off I am if something happens to that salary. And also I have, projects I'm doing, and hopefully something will just like work out, or I'll get I don't want to interview. I want it to be the Web3 way where like they see me working and then they're like, oh hey, like I need a developer and I see that you're doing this stuff, can we just hire you?
But would you really want to start with somebody else's stuff now?
Not really, honestly.
Yeah.
And I also...
And that stuff can be way more than 40 hours certain weeks, and that'd be frustrating if you had something going on. You'd be like, no, but this is my gallery week. And they'd be like, I don't care, this is our launch week.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's really hard because, with my own anxiety and stuff, it's like, am I not working to the best of my ability? Or like what does my boss think? If my boss thinks I'm performing, then I'm performing. And then I'm at par, so it's fine. But I don't feel like I'm doing my best job at work. So I'm trying to improve my attitude now that I like my boss.
Mm-hmm.
And also to get my shit done. So there's that. But
you're gonna get some sleep so they can do that.
Yes. And I also need to talk to Aaron because we were gonna make me a marketer person, but I haven't done anything, and now I'm starting to feel bad about it. So, like,
I would just think about it, like, what of the things that he was supposed to do for you in terms of you getting some return on this has happened, versus like how many of the things you've said committed to did happen. And so if this is like a new commitment that's like not working out so much, I wouldn't necessarily worry about it. I feel like with marketing with that, it has to be just like, you have your links ready, and if somebody mentions something and it's the right product for them, then you're like, hey, this is for you. Instead of like trying to like actually spend time, be like, I'm going to spend an hour today doing that you like can't find the people that need the solution, right? But if somebody brings up something and they need the solution, then you're ready to offer it. I would pretty much say like that's what your commitment should be at this point, and that would probably have a better return on your time anyway, because again, it's like more targeted.
Yes, I need to talk to him, because like the original agreement was like me being a developer, so I was getting like a big percentage of the 0% of the value of his company. So we can probably stop doing that, because I've stopped doing programming for him. And like, we're still friends. I still care about his success, but I've got my own things to do. So
yeah, no, I think you've given a lot in that. I think you gave a lot. Most people, like when the person would stop raising, they would just be out. So I think you're being really hard on yourself about that in particular.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not his fault he had medical issues. So
yeah, I'm not saying it is. It's just like, at the other hand, you have to like worry about yourself. So like, I think you went above and beyond as long as you could, and then at some point now he's like back on track. You have to focus on yourself.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad to have you in my corner. And yeah, I'm gonna end this. I keep threatening it, and I just keep staying.
I know.
But
I'm just about to walk out soon. I keep thinking about it. I'm like, what if I just leave?
Yeah, I feel like everybody should just leave. That way we're rugged. And then, but anyway, have a good night. I will talk to you all later. I have this space again on Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and then Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So, if you want to hear about the artists that have been in this gallery, please go at those times, and we will try to talk about their art and not just me complaining for 4 hours. And then we have the gallery opening on Saturday, where 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm giving guided walkthroughs. So it'll be fun. It'll be on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, my Discord. All of these links are in my link tree. So you should all, if you haven't, you can purchase tickets. They're $1 to $125. They range. So anyway, have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye, Amy.
Okay, well, thank you